So, if you live in Lagos State, you may be wondering what is it about? About two different bridges in Lagos State. So, it'd be like say accidents need they ever disappear for those bridge, the Karo Bridge and the Otedola Bridge. Every time accidents they happen for those places. Those now one of the things we'll say we'll talk about today, plus including Natasha Akpoti and be like say she no carry play come this time around. They remember that our Americana sister we talk say Natasha pay her or offer her 200 million to use indict Akpabio, right? Okay. So Natasha don't carry Matago meet IGP. Say I beg IGP help me investigate she and Akpabio for inside this claim we be say she make. Remember, say that case still they court. And as if we never finish that one, South East Caucus for inside National Assembly don't come talk. Say, excuse me, this one will be say this jam thing can happen mostly to Southeastern candidates. What's in they happen here? As a matter of fact, Oga Ishaq Oloyede will be the head of JAMB. Well, apart from the crime, please help us resign. Stay one corner, make you resign because this matter you get us a bit. Remember, say I just talked in my last life about 15 candidates will go right JAMB from Imo State to somewhere around Okigwe, and they don't lost till today. Nobody know where they be. They never still find them till now. Both them and the boss, the school proprietor wife, we carry them, and a teacher, all of them don't disappear. So Southeast Caucus don't vex the National Assembly. So what is going on there? I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. Oga Oleyede resign. This is the kind of danger you don't put our children into. All those matter and more. Go follow for the things and we'll go put mouth inside. Plus, including security issues. Because the security matter than too much. Did you know that yesterday we hear say bandits enter inside church, gunmen, they storm a church, carry worshippers during Sunday service. That is abduct, kidnapped worshippers inside church. Inside that is the house of God, not be even safe place again. Kidnap worshippers inside church on Sunday for Kebbi State. That one no reach your order in security matter and still dey. Sambisa, expert the non-profit solution as insurgent group reclaim forest amid evolving military tactics. That one saved the insecurity. Nigerian Navy don't establish special operations command for inside Benue State. And that one not end there because yes, for that same Benue State, I be Kaduna State now, bandits don't abduct 6 people for inside Kaduna community. You know the end though. Headsmen and bandits don't strike for inside Benue, Kebbi, Imo, Ondo, Kogi, kill 33 people in all. All this matter now the things that we be say will say will carry come your domot this evening to touchlight them as it gets to affect the lives of the people of Nigeria. I speak to Bidon Contact say he don't come back from room, then ask and say, waiting, we hear say you day room, we hear say you be the do coalition. Tell us, waiting be the essence of your coalition. Now you say your own coalition now against hunger. And waiting again, we will let you know waiting it up. But joining me in the studio now, Oga we sabi well for inside security matter and other matter than we consign things would affect us for Nigeria. In him now, Oga Kenneth Okonkwo. I've been telling her earlier, say you could join us for inside the
Alex,
show. Alex
Alex.
Okonkwo, thank you for that. Okonkwo, na Kenneth, that in my mouth. No vex. I've been talking about Kenneth. I've been talking about Kenneth before the other show. So
Yes,
no
yes.
vex. Alex
He's a
Okonkwo.
known politician.
Yes, he is. But you're not
Mm.
related, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. So the Okonkwo is a big name. It's not like
Yes,
a small part.
It's a very popular Southeastern name. I
Eh,
think like some of the yes, it's very popular.
yeah. So not be say things fall apart. Not just Okonkwo, a very common
Well,
name.
we will see. There was also a nation. So if we go with Chinua today, there was a country. So a
You
lot
don't
of
catch
things,
me there. You
a
don't
lot
catch
of
me
things are,
there.
a lot of things are happening. If we can educate and enlighten our people today, that would
Yes,
be nice
please.
already.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. So before we enter inside the security matter, there may be one of the things really bite my belly where I would like me to talk about. But I would like me to jump into some other issues really happen. Now, there was an accident in Carroll Bridge earlier today, and that accident don't carry plenty lives. In fact, make I read the reporters and carry them. I for put the pictures them, but of course, so pictures of body them we don't die and all that. No be the kind things we for good make person for post for on top of social media like this. As we hear, say another tragic accident happened for inside Carroll Bridge along the
Mm,
Yaya Efi Road for inside Abuja. Oh, this one a Carroll Abuja, not be Carroll Bridge. Carroll
mm.
Bridge, Abuja,
Yes,
yes.
in
So
Abuja. Yes.
eyewitnesses say the crash involved a trailer. And trailer is always involved for this crash. A trailer
Yes.
and a vehicle
Yes.
conveying sachet water, commonly referred to as pure water. The incident comes barely 24 hours after a previous fatal crash claimed lives at the same location,
Mm,
raising concerns over road safety along the busy corridor. Emergency responders are reportedly at the scene, although the exact number of casualties is yet to be confirmed. But we hear say plenty people nine don't die concerning that matter. And see, just the day before yesterday on when just see something just happened there for that same place again. What is going on? What's in they happen with the way we our first of all our swift response for as it get to do with accidents, and secondly the nature and state of our road them. I've been at the one would they use drive. What's be the real problem? What's in they happen?
No, it's not just to be totally honest, it's not just the nature of our routes, because the trajectory Beggar, Lagos going through Beggar to Ibadan is a much better road than it used to be. Anybody that knows that area, it's actually wider. The tar is actually well done.
So now, yes,
exactly. So, and that is still causing accidents. So obviously the problem is somewhere else. I would say it's negligence. Of course, negligence on the part of the drivers generally. I would say it's also inadequacy in terms of our law enforcement. I'm talking about road law enforcement. And I would say it's a general, how will I say it? Something that we have that we see in Nigeria generally, which is not specific to us, but generally, where we don't care about the other person. Look, we have drivers that drive all the way from Borno to Lagos, carrying either cattle or carrying agricultural products. These guys drive over 3 days. We don't know their state. We don't know their state, their mental state. Yes, we don't know their mental state. I can tell you for something I know very well. In Europe, you cannot drive more than 8 hours. They have a special disc that you have incorporated in your truck, in your tractor, or in your vehicle, that after every 8 hours, it signals to the police generally that you have done 8 hours and you are required to rest. So those same kind of trucks, they have 2 drivers on them. They have 2 drivers, one that drives when the other is resting. So these are policies we have to take to combat the negligence I mentioned, the inadequacies of the security forces, and the carelessness of Nigerians. It is not really the roads. We have places where roads cause problem. But what is the problem in the Beggar, like we just said? That Cairo Bridge in Abuja, there are no potholes there. So it is definitely negligence. Of course, we have roads in Lagos. The Tertiary Bridge is a particular bridge. You mentioned it earlier. I think it's far too small. Far too in the city, is in the heart of the city to carry the kind of lorries. The tankers and trailers that pass Otedala Bridge in a day is incredible. You would think you're at the port. So I think we would have to be a little bit more pragmatic. Look for solutions that allow trucks not to use that destination. I'm talking about Otedala Bridge now. If they can bypass, like in the Benin area, you have the Benin bypass. It is supposed to allow vehicles like containers and trailers to avoid passing the city. Anybody who knows Benin knows how the Benin roads are very small. If those trailers were allowed to pass Benin, you will have as many accidents in Benin like you have in Lagos. So there should be pragmatic steps.
Now, there is also another angle to this, because one of my persons sent me a video where an encounter where her friend gets for on top of which post on social media, where it be say this one now na government official where they run one way. For such busy places now, they go run one way, maybe with their Hilux vehicles and all that, jamming people anyhow. And they drive, I don't want to say they drive with impunity, but I think that's the best word to express how they drive. And
It is.
that one, another factor. I buy no vex so. People will be say they for government or we carry government officials, and they immune to obeying traffic laws. Or is there something? Because if you notice, if they carry any government official, now so they go to drive anyhow, they go to swear and they go to disobey traffic law. Why are they like that?
Yes, remember the carelessness we mentioned earlier and negligence. That is it. Look, at the end of the day, we're living in a generation where people follow what you do more than listen to what you say. I mean, you must have noticed it with your own children or the children that are near you. They don't really listen, they follow what you do. So if we have our leaders behaving the way you just mentioned, obviously the rest of the population is going to try and emulate. And so we have a bigger problem. We don't live by example, most of us. I mean, we have to be honest. It's almost a generic Nigerian thing. Of course, it's worse when it's our leaders that are doing that. So we have to find a way to actually have adequate punishments for people who commit such crime, because these things are fatal at the end of the day. But essentially, if I come back to what you said, the issue on ground today is a truck that the driver was obviously sleeping and the brakes had failed. So you see, negligence on the part of the people who are even loading materials on the truck, and negligence as well on the part of the driver. Look, when you go around Lagos, you see all kinds of containers on vehicles. You're wondering how they are still moving, and the vehicle is going to Kaduna, a 2 days journey. You're wondering how is he going to get there without causing a mayhem on the road. So that's why Nigerians are prayerful, because we cannot do much ourselves. We pray to God to help us do everything. That's why the churches and the mosques are full.
Talking about churches and mosques being full, they don't they kidnap people for churches and mosques now. We're going to get to that security conversation later on, because
Yes.
there's quite a lot we will discuss concerning
Yes.
security. But this one are one of those who are saying make we talk. But then still in the aspect of waiting to happen for inside the country. Now till today, about 15 students will be say go rewrite their JAMB on Friday last week. Till now they never find them. And they left their places or their base, go write those examinations. Till now, people they raise alarm or they raise the alarm, say they never still see those children till now, and their families they worried. And what's worse is that they actually even left with a teacher and I think the proprietor's wife of their school, and people can't blame them on the inefficiency of JAMB, because if they say JAMB do the right thing and no cause this glitch will affect mostly people from a particular part of the country, this one for no happen. And then the South East Caucus don't they vex well, they don't vex well, they don't say why can this kind of thing happen like this. And right now they are calling for the resignation of JAMB registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, over what they described as a catastrophic institutional failure in the conduct of the 2025 JAMB examination or UTME examination. Now, the leader of the caucus, I think, for inside statements they issued today, they criticized JAMB for the technical glitches that affected nearly 380 candidates, mostly of Southeast extraction or waiting for Southeast. Most of them, many of them, are not required to even recite the exams, and are now required rather to recite the exam. The CACO say the board's response has been grossly inadequate, while also lamenting poor communication, scheduling conflicts with ongoing WAEC examinations, and short notices given to receipt the exam. Now, some people talk say then get the notice of receipting the exam just a few hours before the examination. While some people talk say they don't get notice to receive the exams like the night before, and the notice not to receive the exam 6 a.m. the next day. How do you even set an examination at
No.
6 a.m. in Nigeria? You know, most people write exams 6 a.m. this period, 6 a.m.
Yes.
And some people say before they don't go their center, where they suppose write at 6 a.m., they can't find that say they are not be their center. They can't check their message to see say they sent them another message 2 hours earlier that their center is an place. And by the time they went back to that center, exam don't finish. They don't miss the exam. So all of those issues, but is it worthy enough? In spite of the cry, well, guy Ishaq Oloyede, they come on air, come cry for us. Take responsibility. We never see any Nigerian leader anyway cry that kind cry, beg Nigerians. But is it enough to also, have mercy on him? Or Nigerians supposed to take sympathy, especially the Southeast Caucus now, supposed to take sympathy on him, tell and say, oh yeah, you don't do, we'll not go, hammer you again. Because now, this House of Rep members of Southeast, they talk, say, make it resign because of this kind of thing. What's your reaction to that?
Well, to be frankly honest, everybody's in their road here. If the Southeast Caucus stems this alarm and say, why shouldn't he resign? They are in their role as legislators. But we will now ask them the question, are they themselves very clean? Did the INEC chairman resign when there was a glitch in the last election? Which was the more...
Did he even take responsibility like Ishaq?
Thank you. So if we go that way, I think most of the senior political and government officials will have resigned by now. There were glitches in the banking system not too long ago. There were glitches with some, I don't want to call the network, mobile networks. So the general manager of that mobile network, did he resign? No. While I accept the fact that he should be called to order, and I guess that is what the House of Rep members are doing, it's not a very Nigerian culture to resign. We've not gotten to that point where people resign when they misbehave or when they commit an error. That said,
so should we not start it one day?
Sorry?
Should we not start it someday?
Oh yes, of course we should start it. We should start it one day. We should start it one day.
It's not a very Nigerian culture. Now I say we're not going.
Yes, I'm telling you what's the fact. It's a fact. I mean, you and I agree. Nigerians don't resign when they do something wrong. So why are you saying the JAMB person should resign exclusively? I mean, I would agree if he resigns and then tomorrow the IGP resigns when the people die and then and so on and so on. And when there's problem with the bank MD resigns. I would totally agree with you. Singling out the man to resign is fine because that's how it should be internationally. but we don't follow those rules. So I mean, I wouldn't focus on him personally. Let's go back to the glitch. I don't have so much information to tribalize whatever happened. I think with what I know about JAMB, they use vendors on ground as well and for their IT operations. So we have to look deeper at what is causing this kind of glitches.
They also talk saying that it gets to do with the vendor. They also talk saying it gets to
yes. So I think a proper investigation should be done.
The contractor not doing what he should have done.
Yes, exactly. So I think more investigation should be done before people like you and I talk on a global, on a very national and international platform like this, on a tribal level. So I wouldn't join the House of Rep members to say it is something that was done targeted at Imo State. By the way, there were glitches in Lagos as well. You see what I'm saying? So, and even when we look at it in details, there might be more Igbo students actually here in Lagos that suffered the glitches.
I'm sorry, but according to some of the statistics, actually more Igbo students they will suffer the glitches.
That's what I'm saying. It's because Lagos is more cosmopolitan. So it's very difficult to do on a tribal level. It doesn't work like that. I know a lot of Southeast people that live in Kaduna. So when there are glitches in Kaduna, it affects everybody. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have enough information to follow that path. What I would say, however, is there must be a sanction method because it should not happen again. The people in charge of the vendors themselves should be recalibrated and re-verified so that it does not happen again. That I agree. We'll have to find the right sanctions for the right problem. I will not say immediately right now that the JAMB chairman should resign immediately. That might be a little bit too harsh, considering that others have not resigned before. Now you will say we should start one day. Yes, let's start with the JAMB chairman if it makes you happy. But tomorrow, when there's a commissioner that messes up in one state, he should resign as well. So
that's it. So that means it's actually very unnecessary to call for his resignation at this point because of this.
No, it is not unnecessary. Let us get it clear. It is not unnecessary. I said earlier that the House of Rep members are in their right as part of the government that oversees these kind of things. They are in their right. I just think at this particular time of our story, it is exaggerated because others, like them as well, have never really taken responsibility when things go wrong. We just mentioned earlier that there was fatal accident. It means somebody did not check the truck, wherever the truck was going to load. Somebody did not check the driver. So there's a transport company that has a driver that is careless. And the security agents were not on ground to verify a danger zone. The Oyo Bridge is known for years. People have been accidents. So all those three people, are they resigning? There were fatal deaths. So we're talking about people died. Are they resigning? If they're not resigning, what's your problem with the JAMB chairman? He's the one that should resign first. And then when he goes, everybody is still there, and the vehicles are still there, the SUVs are still. No. It's too.
But remember that, however we look at it, that incident has cost the lives of people. There was someone who committed suicide because of that.
Oh yes, I'm not minimizing that. I'm telling you, we had a fatal accident where over 7 people died. What do we do? Shouldn't people resign? Naturally, in fact, yes, but we are not. Like I said earlier, we are not in that culture. So let's go.
How can we get to getting into that culture?
No, let us even start now by sanctioning. There are ways of sanctioning, honestly. There are people, the JAMB chairman is not alone. He has different directors, director of IT, director. There are people that can be sanctioned so that Nigerians know that the government has taken its position. The vendors themselves should be sanctioned so that others can come. This is an IT thing. It's an IT glitch. So there are various IT companies. So there are various ways of sanctioning, even in terms of salary, even in terms of promotion, even in terms of duration in the service. We can do all those things to show that we are angry and it is due process. Yes, if he decides to resign, very well. He looks like a honorable person. His cries looked very genuine. They were not crocodile tears because that's an elder man crying. You will know that they looked genuine and he suffered for it. He's an academician, by the way. So it's not as if he's been in the sector for long. So I would say let us be a bit of temerity and then look at the adapted sanction for this problem, which is not unique to JAMB. In terms of glitches, I mean, sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So let's move to Natasha's issue. As the Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti has petitioned the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode demanding urgent probe of Senate President Godswill Akpabio and a Facebook influencer, Sandra Duru, popularly known as Professor Mbeke, over what her lawyer described as serial blackmail and defamation. I don't know if you noticed a lady recently came on board to say that Natasha promised to give her 200 million naira to help her blackmail
mm,
or Akpabio.
mm.
That's the lady in question. And the lady made a lot of claims, including the fact that she's been an expert. She was the one who helped Rochas Okorocha get into government, and that she's the one who is the brain behind Standard Organization of Nigeria, putting in the company
Wow.
together. So she's a big fish and all of those. So she made quite
Mm.
some claims that are unverifiable because research
Yes.
on those claims are barely verifiable, So now Natasha is saying that, I mean, for defamation against her through that lady, that they should be sued. Now, in the petition dated 15th May 2025 and
Mm,
signed by her lawyer, Dr. Ehioge West Idahosa San, the senator demanded an urgent investigation of Senator Godswill Akpabio, as the Senate president, for orchestrating a malicious campaign of criminal defamation, cyber stalking, conspiracy, and attempted assassination against her.
mm.
The attempted, remember that her house was attacked.
Yes, it was kind of boggled. Yes. Yes.
That was her house was
Mm,
boggled and attacked.
mm,
Then well, let's go further in the so we get to see what's up. She said, she noted that the petition was purportedly supported by incontrovertible evidences from public broadcasts, witness testimonies, media reports, and expert analysis. The lawyers said the documents demonstrate a deliberate retaliatory campaign by Senator Akpabio using proxies and resources at his disposal to harm Senator Akpoti Uduaghan's reputation, jeopardize for safety and obstruct justice after she accused him of sexual harassment. That's what he's saying, or
mm.
she is saying rather. Now, this is because during that lady's broadcast, she had mistakenly showed her phone where she was trying to show evidence that Natasha contacted her. And then people noticed from her phone that there is a number stored as Godswill Akpabio SP on her phone. And then people picked it up and said, "Oh, meanwhile, you said you don't know Godswill Akpabio from anywhere. You've never spoken to him before. You don't know anything about him. Then how come there is a number stored as Godswill Akpabio
On your
SP
phone.
on your
Yes.
phone?" And yeah, so people really complained about that. However, let me also quickly state that his media aide came up quickly to speak and said that, "Oh, that Godswill Akpabio SP that you people saw is actually, in fact, I'll play you a couple of records and what people noted from that investigation, and then I also play you, what his media aide said." So the media aide said that, "Oh, by the way, the Akpabio SP there, that is actually him, that he contacted the woman when the woman reached out to say that she had some things about Natasha, and that he noticed her claims and noticed that they were valid, and he decided to invite to speak to her to hear her part of the conversation. That apparently she had gone ahead to save his number at Godswill Akpabio SP." So I think it's on this basis that Natasha is suing for defamation, because his aide never denied contacting the lady in question.
Yes.
I don't know if you understand my point. Yeah. So moving on with the investigation. You're a security person, so let's get full blown into this. So part of the petition reads: "In the weeks following our client's suspension from the Senate, a previously unknown individual styling herself as Professor Meke began publishing sympathetic commentaries on Facebook, offering scholarly support rather to what she described as the persecution of women in politics. She
Mm,
consistently identified as Professor Mbeki and never once acknowledged being Sandra Duru. She adopted the persona of an academic committed to amplifying women's voices. And it was in this capacity that she gained the attention of our clients and many Nigerians who supported gender equity. Moved by her apparent sincerity and scholarship, as it were, our client contacted Professor Mbeki to express gratitude, as she often does with individuals who show consistent public support. However, what followed shocked our client. Professor Mbeki made a persistent overture requesting a contractual retainer to formally support our client's public image. to do what? Yeah. So she demanded to be paid for what she portrayed as a capacity to frame narratives and rally digital support. Our clients likely declined any form of transactional engagement immediately thereafter. Professor Mbeke began sending aggressive messages and within days began what evolved into a deliberate, malicious, and coordinated campaign of character assassination. This
Yes.
matter is ongoing. I'm coming on. At the time of their interaction and throughout the initial smear campaign, our client did not know that Professor Mbeke was in fact Sandra Duru, a Nigerian residing in Texas. In fact, when our client supported the threat, reported the threat to law enforcement, and was asked to identify Sandra Duru, she responded truthfully that she had never heard that name before. It was only after May 1st, 2025 broadcast and following investigation by journalists and testimonies of accomplices that the true identity of Professor Mbeke was unmasked as Sandra Duru. This deception forms the foundation of false identity used to gain trust, manipulate public opinion, and eventually launch treasonous smear campaign against the sitting Senate. Accordingly, the petitioner prayed for a comprehensive probe into the allegations, focusing on individuals involving in planning, funding, and execution. The lawyer also called for questioning of Dr. Sandra Duru and other implicated individuals, including key witnesses and accomplices. Other demands include a forensic examination of electronic evidence, including doctored audio recordings,
Yes.
call
The telephone.
logs, digital files, as well as urgent request for security measures for Senator Natasha Akpoti and key witnesses to ensure safety. The matter long ago, the petitioner also requested the indictment and prosecution of all culpable individuals uphold justice, and that the police thoroughly investigate the veracity of Professor Mbeke, now revealed as Sandra Duru's claims, and all the people she has communicated with within this period, and even her communication with Senator Natasha should also be investigated. That's what she is demanding. Now,
Of course. Naturally.
the statements and actions of third-party collaborators who deliberately endorse defamatory broadcasts be examined, and they said a lot of things. Now, the background to this conversation,
Yes.
it's quite long, but remember that after her incident and broadcast, a lot of people came up to claim that they were once contacted by this
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Duru to help them alter or produce a jingle, a smear campaign jingle against Natasha Akpoti.
Yes.
Had their test.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you did you follow those
A,
testimonies? There were some
a, a little bit, but I
there
think
was a
we
lady,
had more serious issues in Nigeria at the
yes,
same time.
there was a
Yes.
lady who came up and
Mm.
said that and talked about how much this Sandra Duru lady paid her to help her do a jingle, and all of
Mm.
this. And the Sandra Duru also, showing evidence that the Sandra Duru had said in the past that she's quite good with using AI to tweak people's voices. If you recall,
Mm.
in the midst of all of this smear campaign or whatever it was, there was a place where, there were voices played of Senator Natasha Akpoti stating all sorts of things. That first, that her fight is against Yoruba government, and that her fight is to bring Yoruba government down, and that
Mm.
she's not fighting the Senate president, but she's fighting to bring down the government, stuffs like that. So
Mm.
let me quickly play you some stuffs I picked up. Now, this is what I think this is it MC Jollof or so, Mr. Jollof, what he noted about her that life that she did that time. Then I'll go quickly to also play Gotul Akpabio's aid rebuttal
Anybody wey
on the
dey
conversation.
United
Then
States
we'll
of
follow
America
other
embassy,
things
I
here.
take abeg una go to Facebook and search for Professor Gboke. Na woman, she dey do Gboke village hunt. Dat woman wey una dey see so, she dey claim say na justice and for truth she stand for, but dat woman na blackmailer. She say she no know Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President of Nigeria, but in a bid to destroy Senator Natasha Akpoti name, when she carry her phone, she wan search for Senator Natasha name. Senator Akpabio SP dey for the call log. Akpabio group, different group she dey, and she say she no know all these people, and she dey do like say she no even sabi pronounce of senators name sef. Senator Wamboye, Senator Ayabello, she do like say she knows who don't come up for Nigeria 30 years still get this our tongue. But as she be blackmailer, she just want find everything to gain the crowd, do a media stunt to destroy the bid of fighting for justice for Senator Natasha Akpoti.
These are the agencies in the United Kingdom that she needed me to write to and lie against Senate President of Nigeria. I don't even know that man.
Go check our live video, not be saying that we do video they post. Our live video their page. If you check from 46 minutes 40 seconds, you go see say when she dey want destroy Natasha name in the bid as she did the process. She not know say the mumu way of the phone no sabi use WhatsApp self. You don't know technology. God, thank you for technology. The person will think of technology. Bless his soul.
I work hard for everything I want to earn it. When you are raised by Americans, you will know that we value integrity.
Now, Akpabio name, the Senate President's name, now show for the WhatsApp. So, President Trump, I take God beg you. You know, say they try to drive many maniacs come off America. One person will say she be professor. She's a maniac.
All right, I'm going to end it there. I don't need to, say the other stuff.
It's going to be a Hollywood movie. That's what I'm going to tell you.
It is a Hollywood movie.
Yes, I bet you. I bet you some directors are already working on it because it's going to be a very lovely movie to watch on Nollywood. But it's not interesting for most Nigerians. But it's going to be very lovely on Nollywood. It's a caricature of what we are going through. A few people are just, let me say, entertaining themselves with something that is frivolous. And Akpabio doesn't give a damn. He's enjoying the Senate presidency. Natasha is going through quite a lot. We don't know if she has evidences that she was harassed.
Let me quickly play the rebuttal. Now, before I play the rebuttal, there is also some evidences that shows that the woman has been involved in some blackmail and all of those in the past. So these are evidences. I mean, I did not put them up because when Natasha responded, she put up links to who this woman is and what she's done to people in the past. One is saying that her then ex-husband was into a gay relationship with the then deputy governor of Imo State, and that did quite go viral. And then, in fact, there was a time we even heard she tried to blackmail the governor, the then governor of the state or so. Oh, by the way, she also wrote something and said that Hope Uzodinma had HIV. See, that's this discredited to her. Hope Uzodinma has HIV, and that he's been giving it out to people. He's been sharing it to people in Imo State. Those
are all these people living in Nigeria? Are they going through the hardship and the crisis Nigerians are going through? Or are they living in Sri Lanka or somewhere, Malaysia or somewhere, just enjoying themselves?
I don't know.
Because anybody that is living in Nigeria will not have a lot of time for this kind of things.
And then she was also docked for defrauding a friend of hers of 10 million naira. She's the one responsible for this, and then the friend came out to talk about it. That was in the past. All this happened in the past. So she's been involved.
That's what happens when you put yourself in the limelight. There is now a fact checking on your character, on your person. Yes, on your persona. So here we go.
So this is what
my name is Ishaq Oloyede,
media aid had to say about it. So this is him, the media aid, responding to Akpabio's number reflecting on the lady's phone. Just kindly take a listen. And
my name is Ishaq Oloyede. I'm the consultant communication and strategy to the president of the Senate. Yesterday, my phone has been inundated with so many calls, and I was wondering how come people were able to figure out my number, and we're calling my number. Of course, I don't pick numbers I actually don't know, but the few I picked drew my attention to the fact that there was a publication on Facebook, which I checked and I saw for myself. And this publication was made by Dr. Sandra Duru. It was as a result of the fact that I had gotten in touch with her over the allegations that she had made against Senator Natasha Akpoti. And I did that in my capacity as the communication strategist to the Senate President. It's important to state that if I do not get all sources that can boost, especially someone like me who has clearly said that her allegations of sexual harassment were false and baseless, I'll be failing in my job. So I did get in touch with Sandra, and she reluctantly did speak with me, but very few minutes. And eventually, I wanted to be sure of who she was and what her story was, because I was not too comfortable with some of the things I had seen. But by the time I eventually heard the voice recordings that were released by her, it gave me reason to cringe, because one, that was not only the voice of Natasha Akpoti. The scenarios were exactly the scenarios that has taken place. There were actually 4 members of the British Parliament that my boss even posted in his office that we are in the gallery, and she alluded to them in the voice recording. And there was also a sitting by the Ethics and Privileges Committee where she actually sent Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili and her lawyer, I don't know what her name is now, Abiola. And in that sitting, there was a disruption. And Dr. Obi Ezekwesili clearly said she was the first person that told the Deputy Chief Whip, Senator Webber, to shut up. And he lays credence to what was said in that voice recording. And the most important aspect of it was the fact that she talked about some person in New Morin that was murdered. She has said it repeatedly on our Rise Morning Forum, the same allegations. So as a strategist, I listened carefully, and I saw that there was truth in what Dr. Sandra Duru was saying. And I would say, certainly at that point, I knew I needed to be in touch with her closely. And she clearly saved my
Okay,
number.
all right. I would have to stop it there and say there's no need to
Yes.
waste our time with,
I'm waiting for the movie. I'm waiting for the movie.
So he admitted reaching out to her, and then bottom line is a lot of people has come out now to refute Sandra Duru's claim, claiming that she actually paid them to, she played jingles and all those during when she was doing that live. She played some
Yeah.
jingles, calling Natasha names and all of those. So so those people have come out now to claim that, oh, now this woman I send us. In fact, there are different amounts of money she transferred to them at different times. And he claimed, now he's saying that he called her only once, but her call log shows that they had been in communication more than once, from what's reflected. You understand, and all of those. So I would like make you jump in. This one we should don't write to IGP now. How you take here? No vex.
It's a due process. It's just like the House of Rep members you spoke in the earlier case. Senator Natasha has had to do this to make herself look very clean in terms of these are accusations that are gravissime. When you have a problem with the Senate president and somebody's coming to say you actually paid her or you tried to pay her to join you in the defamation, it's gravissime. It's a very serious case, besides all the fun we're trying to have with it. What makes it funny for some of us is that we know our people are going through very, very difficult, maybe since the 1980s, this is probably the most difficult time economically and whatever. Even security-wise, we've seen that there's a failure happening there.
It's even difficult because this administration is not seeing it as difficult. They think that their policies are working.
No, you know how these things. You know how these things take place. Every president and every federal government comes and promises people that things will get better in the future. During the Obasanjo regime, there was the Nigeria 2030. 2030, we are at 2020. We've gone above 2020. So what happened? Nothing changed. But the thing is, you will find out at the end if it's a coup sack, so where that doesn't lead you to anywhere, or if there is progress. We will only know at the end. But for now, Nigerians are suffering it. So when you have this group of 3-4 people working in something that looks like a club, it looks like a social club, where so this person said, I gave you money. We're talking of 200 million here, and much more when you talk of the people by the side that got money, like you said. And what is the real case? Somebody's accused of being aggressing a woman who is a senator, and it's not been proven, no evidence yet. So we're talking of things that don't exist until it is being proven by the investigation that there is the evidence that actually the Senate president had a kind of a bad move against this senator. All we are talking about is fallacy, so to say, because there's nothing is proven. Both from Professor, I don't know, where did she get her professorship? Is it just a nickname or
look at that?
Is it a nickname? Look, this is a movie. I'm telling you, Precious, this is a very. You should sponsor this movie. Look, we have a lady calling herself Professor Mbeki. I don't know where that kind of name comes from. Maybe she's a professor, saying somebody else gave her money to go and accuse somebody else wrongly. Do you know that all these people we're talking about can finish in jail? if everything is proven to be wrong? Because it is gravissime. Besides what we are joking about it's gravissime in terms of the law. You are trying to defame somebody who is a public figure, and you have to prove that he actually accused you or aggressed you in one way or the other. They are not as simple as that. Of course, proving it is difficult. I'm not saying it happened or it didn't happen. We don't know. Nobody knew. Nobody was there when these things happened. Nobody was there when there was the jolly moment when they were all having parties, drinking wine, and traveling together. They are now calling us to intervene when they have issues. I'm sorry. It is not. It is. I wait for the movie. That's what I would say. I will enjoy the movie more than what is going on. We don't know who is saying the truth here. We don't know. That's the problem.
Until the courts proves otherwise. So
yes.
Someone here just said that Sandra Duru was contacted by my ex in California to destroy my
yes.
name on Facebook. And Sandra Duru was threatening my life. It was a disaster. They destroyed my name on Facebook when I was innocent. Are you serious? If you're right about what you just posted, please kindly call in on the show and send me screenshots. Send me screenshots of the post she made about you destroying your life.
And go to court. And go to court. Take her to court.
Yes.
It's another criminal case.
Please,
look, this movie already has part 2. They've not done the part 1 of the movie. Already have part 2. That's what's going on. You will see. I hope they won't mention your name, Precious, one way or the other in that thing. No. We're going to part 2 of this movie.
My name's Sandra. Natasha, no, now.
No, Precious. This is a fantastic movie going on here. At least it's entertaining Nigerians who are very angry.
Please, Oga Bobby, Bobby Uzoma, please kindly do me a WhatsApp message with a screenshot of the post she made about you. It's very important. I'd like to see it. And then please call into the show right away. If you can call right away, let's hear your side of the story. It says Sandra threatened me to the extent that I was incommunicado. I was very scared of letting anyone know my whereabouts. Later, my ex came back to me and Sandra Duru was disappointed. She contacted. Oh, wow. That's
fantastic story. You can see that elements are coming out about the character of people involved in this story. Everybody has a character problem.
I was just having a show. I never knew that there was a testimony on the way.
We would love to hear from him, though. We would love to hear from him because yes.
Kindly call in. Would love to really hear from you. All right, so let's move on straight to security issues because this is very troubling. Just as you said it, I'm not sure we've ever heard it this bad in the past few years in terms of insecurity and hardship generally. So I'll read out a couple of security issues that we've had recently. As we heard that herdsmen, bandits, and kidnappers were on rampage in different parts of the country during this particular weekend, though.
Yes.
Both herdsmen, both bandits and kidnappers. It be like say then blow whistle for them. That is what this means. Could that be Bobby Uzoma calling me? Sorry, let me just quickly check. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, I guess it's not the one. All right. So this happened this particular weekend. Now, they were on rampage in the country in the weekend, killing no fewer than 33 persons in Benue, Imo, Kogi, Ondo, and Kebbi State. So this call is calling persistently. Let me just be sure. Hello.
Yeah, Precious. Good evening.
Is this Bobby Uzoma?
This is Maxwell.
Okay, Maxwell. If now you just won't call, no worry. Wait when time reach for call. Bobby just get special offer to call.
Just 10 seconds. I just want to let you see that guy who was defending Akpabio. He's just reading. If you look at him very well, to my own observation, he's reading from his script.
Yeah.
Of course. He's not talking confidently. He's just reading a script. All those people, they're just reading a script.
Thank you.
It's a shame.
Oh wow! Thank you. Yeah, that's great. All right.
You see in this movie. Look, it's not even Nollywood anymore. I think we should do it. The US should do the movie. I think it's something Coppola would like.
All right. So Bobby has responded. He said, contacted me so we can join hands to deal with my ex, which I refused to, and asked the both of them to leave my life alone. Sandra threatened to find my mother in the village in 2016. And he said, I live in Israel. I live in Israel. How do I call him? So you know what you do for me? In the comment section on YouTube, that's YouTube comment section. Bobby, if you can hear me, the YouTube comment section, there is a link posted there. Kindly just follow that link. It brings you straight to the studio. In fact, let me repost the link again. Just that link now. That link brings you straight to the studio so that you can join us in the studio to be part of the conversation. get straight to the conversation so that we can hear from you. It's very important to hear your part. So this is the link. I'm posting it separately. Just the link. Just click on this link. It brings you straight to the studio, and then you can join us. And let's quickly hear from you on what your side of the story is and what you went through. Let's hear if it's even true. I've been at watch. They watch our brain. People know. All right. Okay. So that's it. Moving on. Waiting till you call us. Then let's move on with security issues. So we heard
Yes.
our heads bandits and kidnappers were on rampage in different parts of the country over the weekend, killing no fewer than 33 human beings in Benue, Imo, Kebbi, Ondo, and Kogi states. This weekend alone, no, you remember that the president had the security meeting before he left for Rome and charged security agents to make sure that they nip this in the bud immediately. Bobby, I've just sent you how you can call now. You say, how do I call? There's a link. That link I just posted now. I posted the link just now. Here is the link. Kindly just follow that link. It's just on top of in between your posts, in between your comments. Just kindly follow that link. Click on it and then impute your name. You can decide to come in with your face, or you turn off your camera and join the studio so you can talk with us. That's how you call in, please. I don't want you to call on WhatsApp, no phone. It will not make for a very clear conversation. So it's better you join us in the studio so that we can hear you properly. Right. So oh Bobby, don't stress me now. Say send your number. I don't have your number. Don't stress me. Follow the link and join live.
Don't
If
worry,
I
we can catch up with him later. Let us.
follow the link and join. You can call the WhatsApp number, but that WhatsApp number, the WhatsApp call will not be as clear as when you join the link. So follow the link that I've just sent to you and join the show live so you can follow us. Follow the link now. Bobby, why did you do like this now? Don't dull us, All right. Uh yeah, okay. All right. So moving on with that conversation, depending on when he can clear. It's just
Yes.
that the work I do is the work of Tatafona. It's a pro work I do for a living. And whenever I
Yeah, of
hear
course.
any
Mm.
juicy conversation, I want to follow it to the made in China to the end.
It
And
has
that's
its
why.
utility. The people have to be informed and entertained. It goes
All
together.
right.
Yes.
Okay. So moving on, we hear that several. Okay, I told you that the president charged the security agencies to ensure
The
that
service
they
chiefs,
nip
yes.
the security years before as he's leaving. And one would have thought that these people would have respected the statement of our president and ensured that that kind of thing no happen again. At least me no
And
killing
how?
happen. Comot.
And
No killing
how?
no happen as he comot now. President
How?
make sure so na secure the place. Wait,
I'm asking you a rhetorical question. How?
oh yeah, let me continue my story now since you're asking me.
It's better we continue with the story.
Now, several other persons were also injured in attacks, which have further worsened the security in the country instead of it to get better.
Definitely.
In
Mhm.
Ogumibo, Ogumobio and Ogumobio and Okpokolo, axis of Agatu local government area of Benue State, at least
Mm.
15 persons were killed in an
Yes.
ambush by armed headers who invaded the area. You see, I hate the way we talk about death like it's nothing. Like we're just counting number of rats. It's very painful to hear things like this happen, and it's really very disheartening. Okay, so Bob Uzoma has joined us. I don't want us to mix this security issue with.
Yes. Let us not
Let's
mix it.
exhaust.
Let's have
Let's
his view.
exhaust.
Let's have his view.
Let's exhaust the issue.
Mm.
Mr. Bobby, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Good evening.
I'm
Why you dey smile? Oh yeah, begin give us gist. You say that wetin happen to you?
I'm just coming back from work now. I'm so tired, but I will speak briefly, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What Sandra does is looking for a problem where there is a problem for her to extort cash from people. I am telling you,
Okay, so without making
2016,
that insinuation, go straight and tell us your own story.
no, yeah,
Thank you.
2016, I was dating a lady in California. I won't call her name, and
Okay.
everything was good until I discovered that I can't go on with a toxic personality. So I started,
So the relationship was
I,
toxic.
it was very toxic. So I started, restricting myself from her.
At a point, she now contacted Sandra. The both of them went on Facebook and started destroying my name, posting my pictures, calling me a scammer, calling me so many bad names. When I am
no vex. You know, I would ask you a question as you talk.
Yeah.
Nigerian or she's an American?
In Nigeria, from my local government, I'm from Olu, LGA. Sandra is like from Olu too. You know that I don't know whom she is, but she kept on threatening me, calling me on phone that they would deal with me. I was like, I am innocent. This woman want me back. I don't want to go back to her. Please, can you stop all these things? She was like, I will go to your village. I know where you came from. Your mother, I will make sure we buy her. I swear with my father's grave. I am telling you.
Do you have a screenshot of any of these posts or messages she sent
you? That was 2016. So what will happen is that I will have to go back to my old Facebook and find it out. I never knew this professor. That thing, she's never a professor. Professor Mbeke, I never knew it is Sandra. So when I now saw Sandra Duru, I said Sandra Duru, so I remembered vividly. It was something else. I even left my business hiding because she was claiming to be something else with roaches. I will show you that I made roaches. I will deal with you. I was so scared, thinking that she's part of the government. I never knew that she ran away from Nigeria to America. Then my ex, I know she will be hearing me now. She's online. My ex now came back to me. Okay? Sandra became disappointed. Now came back to me and told me, let's deal with my ex. I said, how can I have that?
Before we go to how your, how she told you to deal with your ex, when you said your ex came back to you, does it mean that you two started a relationship again? After you had
No.
Okay.
My ex came back to me, telling me that I should forgive her. Let's start again. I told her that I can't even stand with you in the same place. I'm scared of you. You will kill me. So I don't want this again. Then I told my ex, yes, I told her, go and start telling those people you destroyed my name. There was another guy. There was this guy that they were 3 people fighting me everywhere. They were up to 5. Sorry. They were up to 5. One of them, I contacted the company he was working. I told the MD, look at what this guy is doing. And the MD told that guy, don't ever you threaten this guy again. I told you, 2016, nobody knew where I was. I was hiding because of my life. And I didn't do anything. I am telling you, if I do anything that is wrong to her, God, take my life. This is how they go about threatening, destroying people's life. I am telling you. So, Sandra, I believe that God has come to do getting away from this kind of thing, escaping it. I pray that this time around she will never escape it. It's too much. Many people's names have been destroyed, including Hopuzo Demma. I am telling you, it's very, very bad. It's bad.
So when she now came back to you, at the time she came back to you as sorry about your incident. I can imagine what the memories that brings back. Sorry about it. So when she came back, when your ex and you came back, that means it's not like you came back to dating, but you guys became friends and decided to like sheath your sword and stop the quarrel, but not dating again, but just becoming good friends, right? That's what you mean by coming back. I'd like to understand you clearly.
No, no. She was calling me for us to start again. I told her
Okay, so
I'm not in for that
it was at that
anymore.
point that Sandra noticed that she was contacting you, that Sandra got angry
Yeah.
and told
I
you.
told my ex, if you want me back, go and tell all those, in fact, post it on Facebook that I am not what you and Sandra Duru was calling me. So my ex did. So she
But she
now,
posted it too.
Sandra was angry. Of course. When I remember the names of other people, I will tell you, I will type their names. I won't hide it. There were about 5 or 6 of them. How can I date a criminal? That new criminals that can tarnish your image. She came back to me. I told her I will never, because what you people did was evil, and now you want me to take you back, and tomorrow I don't know the next thing you will do to me. I'm done. My ex turned back.
At that time you were dating your ex? Were you in the US with her, in California with her?
No. I was in Nigeria. She comes home often
Okay.
to see me. Yes.
So when Sandra noticed that, sorry for making you relive the memory. I can imagine. So when your ex apologized and Sandra saw it and started telling you to join hands with her to come at your ex, what did your ex do? Did you tell your ex what Sandra said, and what did she do?
Say it again. I didn't get what you said.
At the
Network
time,
was
Shebi, you said
bad.
sorry. You know, you said that you told your ex to post about it on Facebook to tell the world back that you're not what she and Sandra had said you are, right? Good. And when she Sandra saw
Yes.
it and became mad, and they now said that she now said she contacted you that you people should join hands to destroy your ex, right?
Yes.
Good. Did you tell your ex what
She
Sandra said about
was
it? Did you tell your
so
ex that
and
Sandra wanted to destroy her? What did you
I
say?
two people. One guy called something Wosu in Texas was also contacted. This guy was telling me a lot of things he would do to me. Then, after all said and done, my sister told the guy, Mr. Wosu, I can't remember his name, that he will help him get a passport in Texas. I am swearing with my father's grave. The whole thing I'm saying here is true. So she told him that I will help you. Please don't join my ex to fight me. I didn't do anything. So the guy came again with his Sandra to mess my ex up. So I God judge me if God kill me if I'm lying. I called my ex. These people you hired against me, look at what they are doing. And my ex went to them and started confronting them. Everything was like a big deal. I can't even stay in Lagos. I was like, these people will waste my life. I was saying it to help her. Not that I want her back. I don't want her back. But I cannot,
So
a
you wanted
woman
to help
that
her, of course. Yes.
was once with me, how can I be that heartless? It is evil. So I told her, see, don't communicate with them again. Look, I called them and started. Even my sister was angry. Why did you tell your friends about what this guy? Leave her. Let them deal with her. Is it not what she does? So what I'm trying to tell you is this. I don't know any of them, but I will try and dig out the communication and send to you. I don't know Natasha, and my heart reached to Natasha level. So I know them. I'm in Israel. I work. I make my cash. So nobody is bankrolling me. I am telling you what happened.
Your internet is a bit bad. Your internet is a bit bad. So some things you're saying are being they're skipping and a bit more fold up. I wish you can really hear you. Can you check if your internet can be a bit more stable?
Okay.
Mr. Bobby, can you hear us? Mr. Bobby, are you there? Oh dear. So his internet was really bad. Whoops. Oh, okay. Okay. Now this message here. The same Sandra Duru at some point blackmailed the former Imo State Deputy Governor Madumeri of having a bisexual kinemo with her ex-husband. She is known for a blackmail. She's known for blackmailing. Mr. Alexa.
Yes, I'm here.
I did ask you now. You don't hear something. No, go talk.
No. Like I said earlier, it's not. Except for the
Sandra's
except
conversation
for
is not in court. Don't
no,
worry.
no. Except for the
Amaka is
gentleman that came to speak now. Except for the gentleman that came, I don't have any pity for any of the characters. I call them characters involved in this movie because this guy is definitely very hot. I mean, he's very angry and very disappointed. But everybody involved in this big drama is wasting our time. Sandra has definitely a very dubious personality. Natasha has not proven anything yet against Senate President, and the Senate President himself is not very clear in his ways.
It's not in her place to prove it to us. It is in her place to prove it to the courts. And the case.
Yes, I meant that's what I meant anyway. Us, the court represents us. Anyway. That's what I meant.
Understand?
No, not to us, to the court. I want to assume she has evidence before.
The reason I said this is that her lawyer, Barrister Olisa Agbakobasan, had once asked Natasha to provide her evidence to them. To verify.
No. It's fine. It's fine. She's supposed to prove it to the court.
She cannot do that.
Yeah, I get you. And definitely we hope for her that she has evidences. Otherwise, all this is we've just wasted 6 months. That's what it means. And in a year of a country like Nigeria, it's quite a lot. So fine. Like I said, we wait and see. It's a very dramatic issue.
So somebody also picked holes in what some of them have said. This person said Precious Akpabio's aide said people were calling him non-stop and was wondering how they got his number. But the number was only saved as Akpabio SP. So since he said it was his number that was saved as SP, how did they see the phone number attached to the Akpabio SP to now start calling him? That's what the person is saying. No vex. So I say make I show you what people talk. So my work to do my job to talk from all sides. Okay, this boy is not saying what kind of being is that. Yeah, you said a lot. There are quite some responses. Okay, well, you guys should go and put that in bars now. I'll be behind bars, So going back to the conversation on insecurity, we hear that in Benue State, Agato. Anytime I hear Agato, my heart skips. You understand why? Because Agato has been so famous for almost everything wrong in insecurity over the years. We keep hearing reports of attacks and Agatu over and over and over and over and over again. It just doesn't stop, and it's becoming like it's normal. I don't even know if there are still human beings living in those areas or in that community particularly. in Benue State.
Mm.
But then moving on with the conversation, we hear that this particular place is in Agatu local government area where they killed 15 people and in an ambush by armed headers who invaded the area. Now, some of these Amheras remember that the governor of the state had once stated that they are not from Kogi State. Sorry, they're not from Nigeria because they don't speak the kind of Nigerian Hausa or Fulani that it's unique to our own Hausa
Yes,
Fulani. Right now, the
very
attack.
possible.
Yes, the attack also left several persons. Most of them were traders injured and some missing. That means they may have abducted some of them. It was gathered that
Mm.
the victims of the attack, which occurred late Saturday evening, were returning from Owetu markets after the day's business and heading to their various communities when they ran into the ambush. Now, former Vice Chairman of Agatu local government, Anthony Ikulono, who confirmed the murders of the 15 persons in the attack on his verified social media account, said it was unprovoked. Say nothing caused the matter, they just attacked them. He explained that the attack was masterminded by a header who returned to the Fadama of Obagaji after he had earlier vacated the area as directed by the chairman to allow the people return to their farms with he coming of the rains. Now, after returning, no one confronted him. On Saturday, they laid ambush in the community and killed people. I don't understand that. You now beg headers to please leave our community, no come back again. And the header will come decide whether he won't leave the community or he won't come back from the community. This looks like, there is now a plea bargain with headers in your own community. That is your own village.
Mm.
Okay. And
We do
after
have.
he returned, okay.
Now, I was going
I
to say
said,
we do have all sorts of problems.
oh,
We have all sorts of problems, actually.
okay. They said those killed included women and children. Usually, women and children are usually casualties in these incidences. Now,
Unfortunately.
the innocent Agatu victims were not prepared for anything. They did not envisage the attack and did not try to defend themselves. They took them unawares because most of them were returning from the day's market. And then I said, as we speak, there is fear and tension in Agatu because people cannot look for the corpses of those killed in order to retrieve them from the bush or for burial. For those injured, have been taken to hospitals for treatment. Contacted the local government chairman of Agatu local government area, Melvin Aja, who also confirmed the attack, said, "I am too emotional to speak on this incident." That's what you talk. Say the thing they pain am too much to talk. This is the first time we are witnessing this since I became chairman. That's what you talk. The police
Mm.
PRO officer, Chief Superintendent CSP Catherine Anene said she had yet to receive report on the incident at the time that this report was filed. Now let's also go to Imo State, where headsmen shot sporadically injured one person in Imo State community. We hear that in Imo State, gunmen suspected to be headers on Saturday night invaded Agua and Amakohia Ubi communities. Now, the two boundary communities are in Oguta and Uwere West local government areas, respectively. A local of Amakohia Ubi who pleaded anonymity said the headsmen came in their numbers. I don't know whether you don't understand what they talk. Sir, do you understand me?
In their
These
numbers, yes.
in
Yes.
their numbers in Imo
Mhm.
State. It's not in any other place. So that is in Imo State. Came in their numbers to the community. I'm sorry if I sound a bit too surprised about this incident. It's just a bit worrisome. Now, I said that the headsmen came in their numbers and shot sporadically while residents scampered for their safety. That is, people just did their village, they do their thing. Some
Mm.
headers will know the community, enter the community, begin shooting, have people begin wrong. The attack, according to him, followed an effort by the community to stop the headers from grazing in farms in the area. The source stated that the headers had been destroying and feeding their cattle in farms in the community. There have been herdsmen attack in Amako Hilby, Owerri West local government area since yesterday, Saturday. Before now, they have been coming with cattle to eat up crops in our farms. and as security men have been chasing them away, only for them to resurface yesterday from our boundary with Agua in Uguta local government area and began to shoot sporadically. That is the vex. Why on get to chase us could not defeat our, if that's the story is anything to go by. Now, people who live around the area couldn't sleep in their homes, and the entire community kept vigil throughout the night because they know if you sleep. That's what they talk. Say they just stay awake all night. It was gathered that a man was shot in the process without serious bullet wounds. With very serious bullet wounds. A native of Agua community who lamented what he described as insensitivity of the authorities to their plight, told newsmen, "Look at what is happening. They, the authorities, would start looking for anyone who says something about what is happening instead of tackling the issue. That is, if you try to make noise about what is happening, they will not start looking for you to pick you, to question you. But they are not addressing the issue." That's what the man said. There is tension and apprehension everywhere, and the authorities who should do something are not concerned. Agua and some other communities in Ohajebe Maluku Government Area West have and the Owerri West local government remained under attack by headers. Recall that 3 years ago, herdsmen killed one Mr. I think Ozomele Iriaka, a native of Agua community, on his way to farm. In 2023, they also, I think, invaded the community, shot sporadically, and killed a motorcyclist. Communities such as Obukofia and Obosa Asa in Ohajebe Maluku government area have also been invaded several times by the herdsmen as response to any attempt to stop them from grazing in farms. Anytime they tell them to stop grazing, they attack. Now, the police public relations
So they
officer,
moved.
Henry Okoye, could not be reached to confirm the matter. There is lots more, but let's start with it before we go to Kebbi State where they kill people inside.
No, well,
respond to this first.
I think we can take all these things together. These stories are going to we are commonly used to these stories. It's not the first time. Last week as well, the week before, when we discussed the last time, it was Plateau State, if you remember, Plateau State and Nasarawa, and these headsmen are everywhere. So it has to be holistic, the problem. Yes, it is sad that individually states are suffering. What does it mean if they said they've left that area? Does that mean that they've started going towards Abia? Because after Imo State is Abia, or are they coming towards Delta? Or have they gone back through it?
Delta people are facing the crisis, so Sapele women.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is it the same? Is it the same headsmen that are killing up and down, or are they different ones that are coming from Kogi, going down and all that? You see what I'm saying? We have to tackle the problem holistically, because at the end of the day, headsmen are everywhere. And what are they doing? Are they just...
Now, I want to quickly state something. This is very... Yes. This issue of Imo State is a bit pathetic because we're supposed to have Nigerian army troops in their numbers across the southeast geopolitical zone.
Yes.
So where in an area where people are screaming that is militarized already, why do we still have it happening?
No, it is not as militarized as people say. Okay, that's the first thing. There's a lot of misinformation in that sense. When they say militarized, it means that
only checkpoints. Because people are saying
yes, but it's not as simple as that. As in everything that concerns security, it's not as simple as that. What it means is there's military presence. The barracks are there, just like they are in everywhere. Inugu is very militarized, if we go by that. Delta State is very militarized. A lot of units there, so just like Ibadan, just like
Oyo. To the checkpoints that has
the checkpoints are there. They're on the road, but the headsmen don't go. They don't go through. They don't go through the road. But you and I know the headsmen don't go through the road. They go in the forest. Look, let me give you an example. I just want to give you an example. There's a local government called Marte in Borno State. Marte.
Yes, I know.
That local government in size is almost the size of Lagos State. It is lower than Lagos State. Lagos State is about 3,500 and something square kilometers. The local government I just mentioned is about 3,100 and something square kilometers. What kind of security are you going to put there? Just imagine a local government that is as big as Lagos State. Which army unit are you going to put there? 100,000 soldiers? So when people move through the forest or there's no way, if we don't step up our game in terms of intelligence, in terms of IT and technology and all that, we will always be 1 or 2 steps behind whatever happens. I was trying to ask you, where did those headsmen come from to get to Imo State? Did they go through Kogi, Enugu, and you see what I'm saying? And nobody saw them until they got to Imo State. Is that what happened? Or are they sleeping there? Now, since they've moved from Olu, that area, have they moved to Abia? Where did they go? I mean, you see what I'm saying? There's information that we are not getting. It's not possible to have a headsman moving around and nobody is seeing them until they attack. Are you saying that these headsmen armed with Kalashnikov, nobody saw them all the week until they attacked? Somebody is not telling us something. So we need to step up our game. That's what I'm trying to bring out.
Okay.
I just mentioned the local government.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
go ahead.
I wanted us to also speak to other security issues because, for instance, there was you remember when these women in, I've forgotten this local government area in Enugu State, kept crying about insecurity in their state because of the same activities of headsmen. And they complained that when they even tell that there is military presence around, right? And when they go to these military security officers and complain, what they just do is they just paro, and they don't make one single arrest. They come back. And the next day the incident continues again. And to the extent
a classic.
The community people are not feeling that these security agencies are not doing their work with sincerity of purpose. Because how can we tell you that something has happened? You will not do anything. But if it is something involving the natives, you come with all the force. But when it's something that's got to do with, those incidences, in fact, there's been an accusation that the military, the security agencies are actually the ones responsible to tipping this headsman in the bush on whom to ambush and whom not to ambush. Let me play you a video. This video is an outcome of a town hall meeting in Anambra State that happened recently, where a woman described her ordeal, in the hands of the security agencies. And that's why she came to that conclusion. I mean, there were security agencies in that town hall meeting, so it is not a hidden thing. So kindly take a listen to it, and then so we can make a more informed or have a more informed conversation. This is okay. That's
my name is Lolo Neka Chimeze. I'm the national president of Igbo Women Assembly. My personal experience, when this insecurity was too much in the Southeast, I'm based in Lagos. For our group, we have different departments and we have media departments. So we decided to come and cover it and to find out what is actually happening. But when we came around to cover the insecurity, we discovered that 90%, I'm sorry to say, of the insecurity in the Southeast was caused by the military. I won't apologize for saying it, but they would have shot me at Osumu that time. So when we came, and on Monday, we decided to cover the sit-at-home proper. So when I have my driver, I have my car, so I moved with my driver. So when we came to Olo, that near Banana Junction, we discovered that place was, closed up by the military. So I had to come down because I have a newspaper outfit. So I have my ID card. So I approached the militaries. Even when they saw me approaching them, they were like even their faces. And I greeted them and I said, "Oga, why did you block the road?" I said, "Who are you to ask all that question, without the harassment?" And I showed them my card. I said, "Unfortunately, I'm a media person and we are here to cover the sit-at-home because we realized that you said IPOP is sit-at-home and they're enforcing sit-at-home. But with the look of things, you are the one enforcing the sit-at-home because I know that before you came, there was nothing like this insecurity. Let's be honest to ourselves. Before the militaries were moved to Southeast, we didn't have it this bad. So you were brought here to relax the sit-at-home. Not that there were clashes within the sit-at-home, but for you to relax it so that people will start coming out. Now that you are blocking the road, it's like you are helping to now enforce the sit-at-home. So when I now flashed my card, they now ran inside. So out of anger, I moved those things on the road. And then I drove past. I covered the whole of Southeast. When you approach their checking point, they look more deadly than any criminal, even armed robbers you meet on the road. The way they approach, the way they harass. So after touring the whole of Southeast, we now realize that even the way they harass motorists, the way they harass people, we now realize that 80% of what we are being told is being done by the militaries and the harassment. Now, on my way back, I'm from Imo State, so I ended up in my hometown. I'm from Olo, actually. And then going back to Newi, where I was married. So taking that Osumuhu is usually faster. So I came through I landed through the Imo State airport. I forgot to remove the tag on my bag. So when I approached that Osumuhu, they stopped us. And when they saw this, the tag, they said, "Where are you coming from?" I explained myself. They searched me and what have you. And then when they took my passport, they said, "Madam, where are you going to?" I said, "I'm going to Newi." "Where?" "Newi South." "Where in Newi South?" "Oto." "Where in Oto?" They were not asking me my village. At that time, I was very upset with what they were doing. I said, "It now means we are under siege. This is not security. You came here for another mission. Oga, what are you doing with my village and my family name? So you are the ones that will collect this information from our sons that come from abroad, and then you give it to your kidnappers. It means you are involved in kidnapping. Otherwise, why would you be asking me?" I said, "I'm going to Nero." Is that not enough? You asked me my village, I told you. You asked me my town, I told you. You are not asking me my name, where I come from. So what else? In the night, you come and carry me like fowl. They were, in fact, they cocked their gun. 10 of them, they were mad, they were raging. I lost it. I now said, the Southeasterner needs to find out what is going on. This has nothing to do with IPOP. The problem is the media were reporting something else, while underneath something else was going on. So when I got home eventually, in fact, when I went after the quarrel, I told my brother, "You know what, turn this vehicle. If I pass, they will kidnap me." I think they work with those criminals in the bush. They kept them there. How can they keep these armor tanks and what have you? How large is Osumuhu? It's that forest that they cannot fish out those criminals. So as we were turning, they seized my car key. So I left them. So I think the whole drama, they went to bring their leader, the Orgas. They came with their van and they collected the key and they handed it over to me. I was alarmed. When I got home, I called the PG of my local government and I said, "Oga, you people should stop looking at IPOP. I'm not an IPOP member. I don't know them, but this is what is going on." See. As I was talking, a young man said, "Madam, they seized my machine there." Yes, because people, Okada will not pass through that Osumuhu, but I think it's better now. The man said, "Madam, I am." I said, "What did you say?" He said, "I am. But we are stuck." You know, that was the reply I got. We are stuck because the militaries are here. If you remove them, something else might happen. I think at that point they knew and they were looking for solution. Another.
Okay, so let me leave it at this. So from her conversation, you could see that even the community people working for the local government admit to the fact that they know that somehow the military is complicit in insecurity in the region. So this is very worrisome. Very, very worrisome. Should we continue like this? For how long? What is going on? Some experts are profiling solution, but how far can that solution go? I don't know if you saw the report by Atiku Abubakar last week when he mentioned how insecurity started during his time, during Obasanjo's time. The Boko Haram started and how Obasanjo nipped it in the bud immediately. And we didn't hear of it again. So what is going on, sir?
No, but we've discussed this in previous programs. If you haven't solved,
we can't stop discussing it because people are
yes, we should. But if you haven't solved the socio-economic programs, you're not going to solve the security problem. It is not isolated. Everything has been raconted here or narrated here, both today and the weeks that are passed, are all due to the fact that we are living a very hard time. Do you know? Let me ask you. Do you know that hackers have? Do you know that hackers have come back again? Have you realized that people have started hacking phones again? It had gone down for 2-3 years, and they are back again to hack phone to get your money for 20,000, 30,000. Call your friends and say you need money. We've gone back to that syndrome again. If you check around your acquaintances, because we have not solved the real problems. There are a lot of issues waiting for us: youth unemployment, poverty, inequality. A lot of things are on ground. You cannot now push everything to the security forces and say, "You guys, we've created a lot of problems. You guys solve all the problems." And of all the security forces, the last of them should be the Nigerian Armed Forces. That's the army. You should have the police. You should have a good structured police capable of dealing with crimes and insecurity, before you go to the army. The army is the last phase. The army is the most ill-equipped, I would say, to tackle social problems. They are there for conventional warfare. So even before you get to call the army,
do you even call it social problem when we hear that these people are even coming with sophisticated drones beyond what our Nigerian army?
No, you have entered into terrorism. That's a different thing. We're talking about what happened in Olu. The woman was talking of Imo State now.
Okay.
Yes, so that's why I say let us not mix it up. If you mix it up, it will be difficult to find the solutions. What's happening in Borno is Boko Haram and ISWAP. That is a battle that has to be fought with men on ground. But what is happening within our communities? You're not going to have soldiers everywhere. If not, let's go back to military rule. That's what you're saying. Because otherwise, you have soldiers everywhere. And we don't even have enough soldiers to have everywhere. How many soldiers do we have in the Nigerian army? I mean, like fighting soldiers. Not up to 300,000. So what are you talking about? And I just mentioned Mati, a village in Borno for you. Sorry, a local government in Borno for you. That is almost as big as Lagos State. How many soldiers are you going to put there? They just had several people killed there, as in yesterday and the day before. So, it's happening everywhere.
How is it difficult in terms of this herdsmen issue, which is clearly what the people...
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Say that again.
In terms of this herdsmen issue, which is clearly what the people of Benue State and Imo State now are going through, how are we so helpless in handling this situation? How is it that government is so helpless? Because it's as if there is barely an action against it. It's been happening all over and over again.
And for years. It's been happening for years.
And then it's spreading. It's going to Enugu State, it's going to Imo State, it's getting to other parts of the country. What is going on? It's heavy.
Okay, yes.
The cattle rearing is not a private business. And why should it interfere in people's lives?
Yes, these are valid questions. We've been asking ourselves these questions for at least 10 years. The point is, what do we do once we've gotten angry? And we had this program and we've been very angry the last time and we're still angry now. The point is, I still ask that question. When 7, 10, 15 of them carried 100 heads of cattle and moved from one place to another in Imo State or in Enugu State, let's use Enugu as another example. Are you saying nobody saw them? I'm just wondering. Are you saying nobody saw 100 heads of cattle? Is that what we're saying? Nobody mentioned it at all. Nobody signaled to the police that we've seen people moving around, though. They seem to have guns, though. Or did they just appear in the night like ghosts? There is something that is wrong, I know, fundamentally in Nigeria. But somebody is not saying something. There's no way those guys will leave Sokoto, trek all the way. They trek. They actually walk with their cattle all through the way to the southern part of Nigeria. And nobody has signaled them. Is that what we're saying? Nobody has said, I can see 7 people with guns, though. Just go and tell the police or even call on the phone number. Is that what we are saying? So the responsibility is collective. We have to say the truth here. While the armed forces might not be equipped and efficient in what they are doing, everybody else is being laxist about it. Are you saying no local government chairman saw them all through the way? You know how many kilometers they walked? Nobody saw them. Are you saying the people that buy the cattle, because it's in the south we eat cattle, is the meat you are seeing in shops that those people are bringing in? We don't have an export-import system for cattle. It's those same cattle that we are buying. Are you saying the buyers of this cattle are not mentioning the people they are buying it from? Are you getting where I'm going to? There's a bit of, everybody's a bit playing this game, disinformation and misinformation. These cattle are being sold in Lagos. We see them all around Bega. We see them all. Are you saying, when they brought it, nobody checked? Nobody saw the guns? There's something fundamentally wrong. So please, let us work together to make sure we can solve these problems, or at least reduce it. But to sit down here and say, oh, it is one brigade that did this or one captain that did that, will be too easy. It is in that same state that just before December, a group of soldiers were massacred and their heads were cut, just between Abia and Imo State. The same people were calling to defend us. It is in that same state that people were ambushed and killed. You mentioned Delta. Not far from Delta, soldiers were ambushed and killed last year when they went to solve a problem between 2 communities. Remember what the woman said? He said when they call them, they don't come. When they called them and they came, they were massacred in the bush, including a lieutenant colonel. My sister, there are no... You remember that story, though?
No, I remember the story. You're talking about the Okwama story. Remember, the Okwama story has to do with what they said. What do they call it now? That these military people went to solve a civil issue between communities. Is it in the place of the military to solve a civil issue?
That is what I'm saying. I'm bringing it out. I know why I'm bringing that. I told you earlier.
Did you notice that at some point people said that the only standing building in Okwama at that time became only a church? The military raised down buildings. According to
I'm telling you that.
Since we've said this, is it also fair that when there is an attack or reprisal an attack or whatever it is on the military in the South, most places in the South, there's usually this mad attack that they raise down people, kill people sporadically. If you heard the concluding part of that interview, yeah, when the woman said that when these men attack them, they in turn their anger to the community and begin to vote at the community vote. That's part of what she said. I'm coming. And then secondly, remember that not too long after that Okwama incident, they killed even an senior army officer, I think either in Zamfara State or Borno State. Why did you not see the same reprisal attack by the army in Zamfara or Borno State? Why did it not happen?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
Let's not also give a statement to the fact that finish them, catch them, no matter what you do. The same kind of statement he made for Okwama. So that's the point.
No. Don't get it confused. I told you earlier that the attacks they have in the north are mostly Boko Haram. Communities don't go and fight the army. It's Boko Haram and ISWAP that intervene and ambush the army.
You also know that it becomes so bad that the other day, we said we shouldn't mix it, but somehow this thing is about insecurity generally.
Yes.
Because our people are dying. Army officers are dying. They are dying.
Yes.
They are trying
yes.
Last week, family members were crying about their dead ones. Army officials themselves were crying because of their colleagues that were killed.
Exactly.
Parents are what cannot handle the security. They should stop risking the lives of their children that are soldiers.
So what do we do? So what do we do? Once we have that's what I'm saying, because there's no need to be emotional about it. I said it the last time I was there that next week we are going to talk of the people that will be killed next week. I can tell you in advance. So we still haven't solved the problem. Everybody has gotten angry.
Are you saying that the people themselves are also culpable of these crimes? Is that what
you're saying? Of course, security is collective. How can you separate security from one unit? I told you now that those cattle raiders walked all the way from Sokoto. Nobody saw them, and we came through the bush. How have they not been signaled? How has nobody mentioned?
Okay, sorry, sir. Remember that there were also people in villages in Enugu State who come to talk about how these cattle rearers ruin their farms, kill their people and all that, and they say they tell military, and the same security agencies don't do anything about it.
No. Let's go back one step. Look, we're not going to go into one case. They said in Enugu, they said in this. What we have to do, and I'm even talking of a state government level. I didn't mean just ordinary citizens. I'm not saying you should go around looking for cattle rearer and then mention that you saw one. At the state government level.
How about the innocent cattle rearers that are doing their businesses legitimately?
Yes, exactly. Thank you for bringing out that example. There are also honest people that are selling their cattle, so that we don't get confused and start killing everybody. But at the state government level, they should have people on ground watching for people that come into their communities. They come in through the forest. That's what I meant. It has to be organized. This information gathering has to be organized.
So information gathering, that means people should leave or forget about going about their different business.
No. I'm not talking of the citizens. You keep going back to the citizens. I'm saying it's at the government level, at the state government level.
State and local government. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Of course. Are you going to leave your work? Are you going to leave your work and go to the forest? That's not what I'm saying. But what I said is collective.
We're still attending to this, systematically, step by step, as you said. Now, do also remember that at the end of the day, everything about security in Nigeria lies in the center from the federal, right? How will
not completely true, but yes, go ahead. But it's not completely true.
Because
it's not completely true.
As a matter of fact, the commissioner of police, even though he's subtly answerable to the governor of the state, he takes his highest command from federal.
No. See, please, Precious. Just give me a minute. Let us not give Nigerians the impression that the commissioner of police in Imo State is just sitting down drinking palm wine. He will be wrong and waiting for. Hold on. I didn't say you said that. Hold on. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going.
I will not think I said that.
I know where I'm going. He also has the capability and the capacity to go and do some information gathering with his men. He has men and women at his disposition. He doesn't have to wait for the IG for that. What Nigerians confund with the center is when there are instructions to have, like what happened with NSAS. Obviously, information was gotten from the IG for anybody to intervene. But in terms of your state as a commissioner of police, you have all the things you need on ground to move around and search and stop. And you see it often in Lagos State, you get units that search and stop you. They don't have to wait for the IG for that. What I'm trying to say is that we all have to be responsible, starting from the governor of the state, the local government chairman, and the commissioner of police of that state. They can get information gathering. If they are overwhelmed, they can call on the army. All those things don't need to go through the IG. I'm talking of in your state. The NDLA commander in each state can take out operations in that state. They do it in Ogun State, they do it in Abuja, they do it elsewhere. Don't give Nigerians the impression that the commissioners of police in each state don't do anything until the IG calls them. That means he's calling 36 of them every day. That is not sustainable. It doesn't work like that. Let us be clear. The commissioners in each state, even though they are understaffed, and the whole Nigeria police is understaffed, so it's not a unique problem to Imo State, have capacities to do things. They are not doing it, or they're not doing it enough. That's what I'm saying. And the local government areas is the first port of call. When we see cattle rearers in your local government, I hope that the chiefs or the traditional rulers in your local government are mentioning it to people there that we have noticed headers. Everybody be careful. Don't wait till things happen.
Would that not be
tantamount? I can't hear you very well. I mean, your volume is a bit low. I didn't hear you.
Would that not be, seen as discrimination? You see people.
What discrimination? There's no discrimination. It's information. It's information.
First of all, no cattle rearer would carry gun openly and be parading about. They will definitely hide their gun at the time they need to hide their guns. And
no, you don't have to wait till you see guns. That's what I'm saying.
I'm coming, sir. I'm just saying. Now, seeing people, cattle rearers do their business is something we're used to in Nigeria. It's a normal thing. We see them, even along Lagos, they see them, they carry cows, they pass.
Yes.
It's a normal thing. So will it not look like you're not discriminating against genuine Nigerians doing their genuine business when you see cattle rearers, when you raise
No, it will not. It will not. You know why it will not? What we are telling the police to do, hold on. What we are telling the police to do is to go and search them. If there's nothing wrong, they continue their business. Better safe than sorry. What we are not, exactly the point I'm trying to bring up, we're not doing enough prevention, but we're doing a lot of crying. And I'm tired of crying as a person. I'm tired of crying on Nigerians that die. Let us start prevention. You've seen 100 head of cattle. 100, I didn't say 10. 100 head of cattle. And you've seen 7 men who are guiding these cattle. And they all look strong and big. And you didn't mention it to any force to say, let us check them. At least it's better we check them, they don't have anything, than we let them go and start crying a week after. That's what I'm trying to say. So this security problem or insecurity issue is collectively solved. We cannot just say the army should do it. The army, they are in their barracks. They are within their units. They don't go into the forest unless they are called upon, like it happened in Delta. They will do no commander. You can call anybody here. No commander will take his unit out without instructions. They don't do that. It's the police that can do that. The army only does that on a call, on a particular order, and they have mission they have to do. That is why they are easily ambushed, because they are not so used to the forest as policemen are. Policemen, any policeman, even in civil uniform, in mufti, can intervene, show you his card and say, we are searching for social and person. But the army cannot do that. They don't have that jurisdiction. They don't have that right. So we're trying to solve the problem with something. That's why a lot of people are calling for state police. I know you were going to talk about that. That's why a lot of people are calling for state police. It's exactly for what I just said. The state police will be on ground. When they see a group of headers coming, they can intervene and ask them a question. If they are overburdened, they will now call on the army. That means it's going to be an attack. But at the stage of information gathering and stop and search, it's a police duty. We don't want the army to do that. The last time a governor called the army, it ended up badly on the Lekki toll gate. Remember very well. So they are not trained for those kind of functions. So let us keep them. Let us forget our tradition of military. We have a military tradition because of many years of army. So let us leave them aside and use the preventing crime and keeping the society safe. That is not the function of the army. The army is external defense originally. They are not there to keep your property safe.
In terms of what is going on in the Northeast now, what do we do? Because it's gotten to a different level where they now use sophisticated drones and other equipment. What do we do now? Because that's getting fairly out of hand.
We have to take the war to them. It's a war. In terms of terrorism now and banditry, that's what's going on in the north, especially at Northeast right now. We have to take it to them.
Because
yes, we have to take it to them. It's purely warfare. These guys have RPG. These guys have automatic machine guns. They come with armored vehicles. This pickup that they load their own machine gun on top. So they are very well prepared. The last combat, the last ambush that killed almost 9 soldiers happened 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. in the morning in the bush in Bornu, you don't see anything. I'm telling you, there are no street lights.
There's also an accusation that these people even come with foreigners to invade our military camps.
Well, yes, there are foreigners that are part of them, because when they come with their groups from Niger Republic, and some of them are Nigerians. I think the issue of foreigners or not is not a problem.
By whites, that's part of what we heard. By whites.
Oh, now we have gone into the banditry that is linked to illegal mining about that. You see that's another aspect again, because those ones come for financial gains. There's economic aspect to it. You see how complicated it is?
Are you saying, no, it cannot be complicated in a sovereign state? Are you saying our government is oblivious of all of those factors?
I think I hear you. Are you saying our government should, what was the question?
Is oblivious of all of this factors.
Oh, no, it's not. Look,
so why are they not doing anything about it? Do they not know that there is a security situation attached to mining of our natural resources? Are you saying
Of course there is. First thing first.
That is impoverishing the people. Today, the Kaduna State governor said that the major reason for insecurity is poverty. That's what he said.
Yes, and he's very correct. He's very correct.
Then how is it that the government understands that there are people coming to mine our natural resources that is very expensive, and mining it and cutting it away with at little or no cost, right? And then the reason why they are making some of those communities unstable just because they want that natural resources.
It's true.
Government is not doing anything. You know, say person can't collect thing, and you know I don't understand how are we helpless about
what I would say, what I would add to what you just said is that the government is not doing enough. I wouldn't go as far as saying they're not doing anything, but obviously they're not doing enough, because if these things are still happening, it means they're not doing enough. I would add to that there is a complicity all around. Don't forget, we're talking money now. We're talking dollars now, thousands and millions of dollars. There's a lot of complicity. There is no way they will attack a village in the northwest of Nigeria where people around there are not complice. It's not possible. I said earlier in your program that you don't get attacks in a locality where you don't know. You and I cannot not go now in Sokoto and do an attack. We don't know where to run away from. So people are complice around that area for financial reasons. Brings us back to the earlier discussion. Solve the socio-economic problems, solve the poverty in the land, solve the discrimination and inequality in the land, and you will start reducing security. It is not everything you will fight with an RPG or what, an AK-47. Some of the problems are root problems.
But this same government has said that they've done very well in economy, that the economic reforms are doing very well, and that Nigerians...
No, they have not. No, they have not. We've not seen the results. I mean, we beg to disagree with them. I think we can disagree with them.
Even inflation rates come down. I never see inflation.
No, forget that inflation rate. Forget that inflation rate. Forget that inflation. Those are for the books. Forget the inflation rates. Have you gone out to the market or gone to a restaurant to try and get food and see how much it costs? No. Inflation rate is for the books. It's for IMF and World Bank. That's what they enjoy. The prices go up in Nigeria and never come down. So what is going down is the price of seasonal goods. So if you are buying mango now, it's a bit cheaper than it used to be last month. That does not mean that prices are going down. The price of bread, has it reduced? Which is a staple food here in Nigeria. People eat bread every day. Has it reduced? So, we cannot look. I want to do two things at the same time. Let me recognize the fact that some structural changes are being done. I cannot sit down here and lie that there are no structural changes being done. That the people are not feeling the effect is 100% true. The real Nigerians are not feeling the effect yet of the changes. So while the government can say that they've done some things, we are not feeling it. The ordinary Nigerian is not feeling it. So there's something wrong in between. We cannot lie that there are no projects being done. There are. We are hearing about them on TV. We are seeing them being budgeted for. It's true. But the effect is not showing on the citizenry. Yes, and that is why we have multiple problems. And please, Precious, as people that have a bit of voice, let us not create all this problem, social, economic, whatever, cultural, and then leave the armed forces to solve them. That's what most of us are doing. We've not I'm sorry. No. Wait, hold on.
No vex. Yes. Let me say something. You said something that is important to address it. He said, let us not create all of these problems. Not be me and you create them. Maybe you follow.
No. I don't mean personally, of course. No. Of course, hold on, Precious. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. What I meant was that we all have our responsibility. It was like when Yahoo was high in Nigeria, and you are seeing the young man buying different kinds of SUV, and nobody has asked him where he got the money from. Come on, we are complice without being complice. You know, you cannot just assume that a young man of 19-year-old has a brand new SUV, and what did he do? He's not a footballer, he's not a musician, and he just bought the car overnight. Come on, insecurity and security is a problem for everybody. We cannot just dump it at the table of the IG or the Chief of Army Staff and say, solve it in 1 year or 2 years. All of us have to be collectively interested. That's why I said earlier that the person that is buying cattle, that is the one cutting and selling cattle to us in Imo State, should also ask his cattle sellers, those that are bringing the cattle to him, what are they doing? Where is this cattle coming from? He should not just buy cattle, do his business, and go and sleep. And when he hears people have been killed in a village nearby, he will now complain. He's still the same person buying the cattle, because those cattle are being brought to the south to sell to us. They're not bringing them for tourism. They're not bringing the cattle and then going back without them, or just traveling around Nigeria. They are bringing it to the south to sell. Some of these people go from Sokoto all the way to Benin Republic, crossing through Nigeria, and they sell their cattle as they go. It is a merchant thing. They are selling it. So it's not as if, you know, what I'm trying to bring out here is that everybody should get involved so that we can solve the problem. Of course, the army is in the first line, and the police is in the first line, and the federal government is the first line. But the local government chairman in every community and the traditional rulers that you have in the east and everywhere around are also important in this issue. So let's tackle it collectively with solutions that are viable and that can work.
Thank you. I'm sure a lot of people have questions to ask you anyway, so let me open the phone lines. Phone lines are open. Kindly jumping in the conversation. Check on the comment section. You see a post that is pinned or a comment that is pinned. Kindly, click on that pinned post and jump right into the conversation. I have some people on our backstage. Let's see. The flagship, are you there? Good evening, sir. The flagship. Hello, the flagship, are you there? All right. Mr. Flagship, are you there? All right. In his absence,
yes,
the flagship, are you there? Hello? Okay. The Barrys, let's talk to you. It looks like the flagship.
Now go back to the thing.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, are you there? Yes, are you there?
Yes. Hey, okay. Precious. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the network is bad.
We can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Let me move away a little bit. I'm in the office. I'm actually calling from ATL, from Atlanta.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Hold on a second. Let me move away. Yes, I've been following you for years now from the other station. So finally, I'm here with you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you don't mind me calling you Preshito, that's what you call Precious in Port Harcourt. I hope you know that.
They don't give me guy name Tayana. You know, in Port Harcourt I grew up. And there they born me, and there I grew up. So
I've been trying to get online with you because I see so many people coming in, talking, especially the Igbo brothers, and I will call and I have to educate some of them about those of us from the south, and the experience. My father was a Biafran soldier, so I'm over 50 years, I do have a clear, detailed information of what our experiences were. But that's a topic for another day. Mm-hmm. So this whole information about the Fulanis and the whole killing and all that, I've lived in Abuja, and the experience that I have was terrible. I lived there for 10 years, trying to bring business from US. I live in Atlanta, I lived there for over 20 years, and I tried to bring so many businesses to Nigeria to help people. But my last experience with the Northerners in Abuja, this minute, I will have to come down to your studio and I'll pay for the time and explain experience. So when people say, calling from the diaspora, doing this and that, I'm one of those people that want to come down and I will share. I have so much to share with the Nigerian people. So I just said, let me join today. I was in my office. I was trying to say, let me join today. And hello? Say that again?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you.
For my MTN.
So I'm happy that I was able
I
to
beg,
go
I
through
beg,
today. I'm so proud of you, Precious, as a Rivers lady.
Awesome.
I'm
I
a
like
Rivers
it.
guy. Yes,
Uh-huh.
and I can't wait to come there, and I would like you to invite Barrister Darrington. No one
Mm-hmm.
has challenged him with all the things. I'm coming down, and I'm bringing something good, anyways. So I'm not just coming. I can't give up on Nigeria. I've been in the US over 20 something years, but I come home 3 times a year. I have a
Okay.
project I'm bringing. I will not stop until I get it done. So thank you
Thank
so much for taking me today. Now I know how to connect. I always
thank
come
you.
in. I
Thank
listen
you.
to you from morning to night. I don't
Oh,
stop. I play
oh,
and
stop it.
replay from you to VOP. All that's all I listen to. I don't even listen to American news anymore. I'm
Thank
stuck with you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Appreciate you. So what's your name? Say Dabari. Is that you sound like you're my Ogoni brother?
Yes, yes, my Barry name. I know
Ah,
everybody.
ah,
I'm your going boy. I'm your going man
ah.
though. So
Ruga.
remind me, I get
Ruga.
all
We
the
don't
information
want that.
when
We
they
don't
talk
want
about.
that.
I go load you. I go upload the information. I'll be going man right. Wrong come out. I see they are alive.
No problem. No
So
problem.
I
Thank you.
get enough. Thank you so much.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye. All right. Okay. All right. So Mr. Alex is still here with us again. I don't know if Flagship has joined us back. Flagship, are you there? Mr. Flagship, are you there? All right. He's not there. So let's speak with Mr. Mop. Mr. Mop,
Yeah, great. Yeah, greeting to everybody. Greeting
man
to
of
our guest.
prestige. You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear.
Yeah, I needed to ask the our guest a question, but anyway, it's nice to have you on this platform. I'm calling from California, specifically San Diego. But having said that, I kind of think you're a little bit economical with with the fact, we do respect, you're an expert in that area. The reason why I'm saying that, because of the what's happening in the South, specifically in the Southeast, which is where I'm from, um, I think the military are complicit to what's going on there. Why am I saying this? Because of has to be for financial gain. I mean, expected used to say that. I mean, it seemed like you a little bit, exonerated them to a certain degree. That they don't have enough manpower. They can't be everywhere, but you see them everywhere. There's something you said that I totally agree. They are military. They are not meant to be in the street and other kind of thing. Supposed to be in the war front. They are not trained for that. But we need to have more police, or the people that are capable of doing that. This is unsustainable, the situation where we are right now. I mean, every day we keep on lambasting about the situation in Nigeria, the predicament we are facing. There has to be a solution. And in my own opinion, the buck stops with the president. So it doesn't matter how people say anything. I'm going to blame the president. The president has to have a ball to do what he's doing. I mean, he was able to come out the first day and say subsidy removed. So people say this guy is bold. Okay, show your boldness in insecurity, which is the paramount impediment to this country. There's no way we can have a country, sir, without solving this security issue. It doesn't matter what GDP has grown 3 point something. All those are mess. It's callous to me. So we have to find, sir, what can we do to ameliorate the situation, at least minimize it, because this is not unsustainable. Please, give me some point. I would like to hear some good news.
All right. Let him respond. Just be here so you can hear him respond. Please.
Perfect. I didn't quite get where he was calling from, but he got it right totally. Because at the end of the day, the ball arrives at the president because the president is the coach of the team. If it was a football team, so if we lose or we win, it's the president that's responsible. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, to be totally right, and he also mentioned what we said before: the army should not be everywhere. But it's because of our tradition, our culture of having military rule, that we think the army should solve every problem. A lot of the problems there are not adapted for the army. While they can fight the guys who are Boko Haram, while they can fight them directly, they might not be able to deal with the problems we have in the southeast, which are more linked to there's a bit of IPOB, there's a bit of criminality, there's a bit of banditry and all that. These are things that require a very sophisticated and well-equipped police. So in my view, I would agree, even though that we should go and push ahead for the state police, so that we can at least have people locally. Can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you. I mean,
Okay, so that
Mr. Bob, can you hear him?
Okay.
Mr. Mop,
I'm
are you there?
listening.
Can
I'm
you hear
listening.
him? All right, then go
Yeah,
ahead.
Okay,
I
so
put
that
my phone on mute.
I would say let's push ahead for the state police because it will help the kind of issues we have in the south. It might not be useful for the kind of problems they have in the north because that's banditry, that's Boko Haram, that's ISWAP. These guys are well armed and actually well trained, contrary to what people think. But in the south, at least, it will give us that sitting that we require, and the first contact will be the state police instead of being the army. Because what is happening is that because we are having a frontal contact to the army, both good and bad contact, it always ends in some exaggerations. So the lesser we have contact to the army in the south and in the southeast particularly, the more things will be better. Look at the south. If you remember the Jonathan years, there was a lot of agitation. Over time, there is less and less military presence in the south because even the security there has been handled by a private security apparatus. And so we have a kind of peace. And even our oil production has increased significantly. That is the same kind of thing I'm trying to say. It has to be collective. I don't think the army is a solution for all kinds of banditry. The ones in the north, definitely. But what we have in the south is more linked to policing and state policing and community watch, so to say. Because if you see a Fulani with cattle in a village near Umuaya, everybody will know the guy is not from Umuaya. It doesn't take much to recognize a headsman. And if he's armed, even worse.
Last question, sir. This forest guide that is proposed, can it be incorporated with the military or the police? You think that's going to make any headway?
Oh, fantastic. I have been saying for 10 years that we should have forest guards. I call them forest rangers. I've been going around various programs saying we need forest rangers. Nigeria has over 3,000 different sizes of forest. 3,000. It's huge. There are some places that are big as Imo State. Is a forest in Plateau State, between Plateau State and Nasarawa, is bigger than Imo State. That's just the forest. So if you don't have forest guards, you're not going to have information.
How do you even intend for them to also be protected? I mean, should they not be protected?
I still can't hear you well, Precious. I don't. Maybe it's the volume thing. I can't hear you.
How can they be protected? The forest guards. How can they be protected?
What do you mean by protected? They will be armed. It doesn't mean they will carry Kalashnikov, but they'll be armed. They're not going to be. They're not going to be wearing slippers. Forest guards. I'm calling them forest rangers. They are trained men. No. Don't take it for granted. We are talking of people who are detached from the forces because they are capable of managing the forest.
No, but what the president said, remember we're saying that we're looking at hiring youths whom would use for this.
No. That was me. I'm talking of what I said. I'm not talking of what the president said. Look, they can implement it and make a mistake again, and we'll be back to where we started from. The forest guards are like forest rangers. Anybody who has lived abroad will know. The US has rangers. Italy has rangers. France has rangers. These guys, because they have forest. All these countries have a lot of forest. They are very, very good. They even have mountain rangers. They are very specialized in mountains. They do ski and all that. These are well-trained men and women. So it's not. I'm not talking of people that.
Oh dear. Sincere apologies. I think your network has. Okay. My apologies, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. Mr. Moop, does that answer your question?
Yeah. But you said something about the youth. Precious, don't be misguided about the youth when it comes to Nigeria. Nigerian youth is about 50 or 40 or whatever, but yeah, we consider youth to be in the 20s. So the president may be wrong when he say youth. In Nigerian youth is on a different parameter. Okay.
So me, I'm not even just looking at the youth per se. I'm also looking at recruiting them as forest guards. What kind of training will you give to them in the shortest possible time to ensure that they can fit in appropriately, and also to be able to secure themselves and secure our forests?
Well,
remember, they have to protect themselves first before protecting our forests.
What I had, Precious, I don't know how true that is. They said they're supposed to hire some foreign machinery to come train them. That's what I had. I don't know how true that is. They have to receive a vigorous training, how to operate, in the forest or something like that.
This short
if
time
that
like
can be
this.
implemented, I don't know how true it is. Okay, it's just from a grapevine. So I've not read it anywhere. So, but anyway, thank you very much. Okay, Precious. Keep on the good work, my sister.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, MOP, Mr. Mop.
Right.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. Oh my goodness. So the network is so bad. I guess my guest was booted out. Again, let me try if Mr. Flagship is here and ready to join. Mr. Flagship, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, then go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
Precious?
clearly. Crystal clear. Go ahead.
Good afternoon from Atlanta, and your guest is not here.
He would rejoin us.
I really wanted you to hear what I have to say, because there's a lot of pushback that I have for some of what he said
Okay.
at the point that I joined the show.
Hmm.
And you already started the pushback with him. When you talk about insecurity and
Okay, I think he's
the
rejoined.
state
He's
of the
rejoined.
nation.
Let me bring him in so that he can hear everything you said. Okay. Mr. Alex, oh dear. Mr. Alex, okay, our next guest said he, needed to be sure. Our next person wanted to speak to you. So just go
Right.
ahead, the flagship.
Good afternoon to your guest.
Mm.
I listened to some of what you said, and I think I joined the last 25, maybe 30 minutes. And you guys are hammering on this insecurity thing as it affects the state of the nation in Nigeria. And I have a couple of pushbacks for your guest in the studio. I'm calling from Atlanta. Now, I think it's unfair. Well, let me start this way. The state of the nation as it is with reference to insecurity, believe it or not, is an aggregate failure on the part of the government, right? From the top to the bottom. If you go to look, and can he hear me?
We can hear Mr.
Can the
Alex. Can you
guest
hear
hear
him?
me? Okay.
Mr. Alex, can you hear him? Mr. Alex, can you hear him? Can you hear the person speaking? Oh dear.
Okay, I don't think he can hear. Maybe you can recap it to him when he finally gets connected.
Okay. All right.
The failure of our insecurity situation in Nigeria, the state of our insecurity situation in Nigeria, and the failure of our government from the top, the commander-in-chief to the last guy in the hierarchy for the protection of our country. They've dropped the ball, and they have just admitted that they are incompetent, they are overwhelmed, they don't know what to do. But I like to be a little bit soft on that, because I don't want to blame our great men and women that are wearing our uniforms and fighting so hard to protect our homeland and our home front. They are doing their best. But the failure of the security situation in Nigeria lies solely at the helm of affairs, where the commander-in-chief is.
Mr. Alex, can you hear?
Now,
Can you hear what he's saying? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, but if you can hear us, that's fine. Go ahead, please.
okay. Now, you speak about a situation that is so dear to me, the Okwama situation.
Okay.
That one is very, very personal to
Are
me,
you from Okwama?
because the action that no, but they are Nigerians, and I'm a Nigerian. All right. Let's not even bring it down to location right now, because that would be being a little bit more emotional or sentimental about it. But these are Nigerians, and it has been shown that the action that the government at the federal level takes against the people when it comes to those of us Nigerians in the South is different from the way they react to those in the North. And they are quick to make excuses to those in the North. But when it comes to those in the South, it's very quick reprisal action against them, and they clear out the whole place without thinking about their actions before they take it. All right. So it's unfair for me to hear your guest say that the bulk of the work lies on the people. I mean, how much more can the people do? How much more information do you need from the average Nigerian citizen in the village who see these killers that are going around with AK-47, that have called on their policemen, their security forces, even the army, and they do nothing about them? Why would you blame the people and say that these guys walked on the foot from Sokoto to the east or to the south and nobody saw them? They saw them. They called on the security agencies we have. They called on law enforcement. But law enforcement refused to take action because of the command that is coming up from the top. So don't blame the people. Don't blame them. That's too much load on the people already. If the army, with the guns that they have, cannot protect themselves, how much more do you want the people who are not armed and don't have anything with a bullet in it to protect their home fronts? But you're expecting them to yeah, I agree. They're playing their part already, all right? They see these people, they call the government, they notify them, but they don't do nothing. And to make matters worse, when they catch these people, the same government rehabilitates them and then reintegrates them back into the society. So here's our problem, and here's the solution at the same time. Zero level of accountability plays in Nigeria as it is right now. And I'm going to focus my comments on the government, not the people. The people have too much on them. They have been solely subjected at a very high level. The government, there's no accountability within the Nigerian government leadership, so to say, or those who are occupying the seat of leadership. Because in my opinion, they never show any form, not a single atom of leadership skill at all by these guys. So they are not leaders. They are just opportuned or privileged to be occupying the seats or offices of leadership. All right? So until we start to make sure that there is proper accountability in the sense that you violate the law, you pay for it. You take the punishment that the law apportions to any of its arm that is violated by any one citizen, including the politicians. All right? So now they are pushing it back on people to get forest guards. Please, you go look in the dictionary and tell me what it says the definition is for forest guards. Forest guards are not meant to fight against insecurity in the forest. They are meant to ensure that the forest still maintains its natural state. Trees, plants, animals, and all of that. Now their job be that. Yes, they call them rangers in other parts of the world. Their job is to ensure that the ecosystem in the forest is maintained. And if there's anything going on, they report it so the government can take action to correct it before the forest start to fall apart, which inadvertently will affect the people. So their job is not to go there with a gun to fight against people that have manpower that is 10 times what our military can withstand. And you're putting it on the citizens who don't have any training, military-wise, combat level training. They don't have it. But you want to send them to deal with these monsters that our equipped soldiers could not deal with. We are fond of putting the cart before the horse every time as a nation. And every situation that presents itself to us to make proper correction and get things right in the right direction, we fail at it. Why would you think of forest guards at this time? These people are coming in with drones. You know that, how did Boko Haram, education is forbidden. That's the translation. Yes. How are they able to fly drones? Do you know what it takes to fly drones?
And the same drone that is against their policy, the thing that they're fighting against, because drone is Western made, right? And you learn to operate it out as a result of Western education. So what are we even talking about?
What are you talking about? Well, how did they get to learn how to fly that thing? And they do it with such a very, very efficient precision that if they say they want to target a military base at this location, this degree and that and that and that, that's where it is. They go there with that drone, they get to the base and they take out everybody there, our own forces. But on the reverse side, when our military take our jets or our own drones and it is flown by the Air Force and they want to go target killers or Boko Haram or headsmen or bandits, whatever they call them, in a particular community, they end up hitting the wrong target. These are trained men. So you're telling me to believe that Boko Haram, now they fly drone, enter Nigeria, find Air Force base, clear the place out, and you are confident as the defense of my nation to come tell me, say, you know the kind drone when they fly. I don't want to hear that. I want to know what you are doing. How are you stopping it? You are 1.4 trillion naira for the army alone, and we still can't get it right. And these guys, they fly drone, they enter my space, our airspace, they take us out.
I'm even
They
wondering how
take
they
our
managed to
defense
get
out.
the correspondence.
That's what I'm talking about. How did they get this? And you're telling me that it's the people that are supposed to do this? No, not be the people. It falls in the arms of the government. And the commander-in-chief, now table this thing day, he and I supposed to take the right action to make sure say this thing is curbed at its point. They know what it
All
is.
right,
You
so
asked
let
him a
me
question a
see if
minute
he's
ago.
joined us so that he can respond to you. Mr. Alex, I don't know if you can hear me. Sincere apologies. Your network has been disturbing. Can you hear me? I think you're muted. Can you hear me? Please check if you're muted. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Okwama,
We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, Mr. Alex. We can't hear you. The flagship, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
yes. What I want to say is this. You asked him a question not long ago. Are you telling me that the government is not aware of this thing that's going on and they don't know what to do?
I have to ask.
They know what is going on. They know. But they just can't take action because it's a collaborative effort between the Nigerian government and whoever is doing this for whatever reason that is making this thing go on and keeping it on. Look, what they're trying to do in Nigeria is Congo. Yes, I understand that our resources is what they're after, but the playbook that these guys have is create chaos, anarchy in the land, and sell weapons to them to keep fighting themselves. While they are doing that, they are taking these resources and heading out with it. I have a question for you, Precious, and your guest. How be it that Nigerians are being displaced by these guys, but the people that are mining these resources are not running away?
All right.
They're still there in the same place where they're displacing the people from. It's a collaborative failure and very catastrophic one at the level of government for our nation to be going through this. A drone is flying into your airspace. The Minister of Aviation is telling me he's not aware of it. They can't track those devices, where it took off from, how it got to where it is, when he finished his action, where he flew back to and landed. They have all the technology to track all these things. And they can't come to tell that to us. The people on the ground are telling us that they see people that are not of Nigerian descent and their skin color don't look like us. And they come with the people that are killing our members of our forces. And you're telling me that you don't know where these people are? Call a spade a spade. They know who these people are. They know what they are doing. We need to know what agreement was entered into by the Nigerian government and whoever is responsible for this. It's putting the lives of the people in danger. And as it is now, we are defenseless because our own military, now they say they can't do it. Let's go recruit the people who don't know nothing about combat mission to give them gun. My question is, what kind of gun are you going to give to them to defend and protect themselves in the forest that you have not given to the military to put this thing down? And let me end with this. Hats off to our military folks. I'm talking about the men and women with boots on ground that are fighting this nonsense that we're dealing with. My hat, HAT, goes off for them because they are trying their best. They are not properly equipped, and the government is not doing anything to equip them. Nigeria has fought wars in other West African countries. And you can't defeat our boys and our girls in terms of combat missions. How be it that we can't even fight in our own land? And you saw the videos and pictures of our Nigerian forces who are crying, saying that the government should equip them, because if they give them the right equipment and the command to take these guys down, they can do it. And in a week, at most a month, Nigerian forces, the military, can quell this attack that's on our homeland. So let's not play games and give the government any credit. They don't deserve it.
All right. So you kindly be on the line. Let's see if Mr. Okonkwo can respond to you. If you can hear, if you can, we can hear him.
Finally, before he gets in, their job responsibility is to protect us, and they need to do that.
All right, Mr. Okonkwo, we cannot hear you. You're trying to say something, but I don't know why we can't hear you. We can't hear you. It's not from my end. I didn't mute you. It's not from my end. So you're okay from this end. I didn't do anything to your audio. Your audio is supposed to be live, but I can't hear what you're saying. I don't know exactly what the problem is and why we cannot hear you. And I really would have loved. Can you try going out and coming back in again? Let's see. And just oh dear, that's it. I really look forward to him responding to your questions anyway. All right, let's see if we'll have him back now. There you go. Okay, Misa, can you hear me now? Can you hear us? You can hear us, but we cannot hear you. Okay, so I guess we'll have to call it a day then. I don't know why we can't hear you. We can, and it's important for you to respond to the things you said, though. It's important. All of a sudden, we cannot hear you now. We can't hear you.
I need him to really
Uh,
respond. He's a
I
security
will get
expert,
him
right?
to respond, and I'll play his response on this platform. That I would get to make happen. Definitely. I don't know what's going on. From my end, everything is good. I don't know why we cannot hear him. From my end, everything is good. We are good from
He
this
needs
end.
to unmute his mic, or maybe
Check if your mic is
drop
muted,
down.
sir. Mr. Konkwo, if you can hear me, check if your mic is muted. Or remove your, you know what? Remove your earpiece, remove your headsets, remove your headset, and let's try it and see. Unplug it from the phone, unplug it from your device, unplug the headset from the device. Let's see if it's better. Have you unplugged it from the device? We cannot hear him. We can't hear you. We can't hear you at all.
Sometimes,
Sir.
Precious, when you click on that mute
Mm,
button on the
mm,
screen, you see that drop down menu on the
mm.
side. Tell her to click and make it select the proper mic.
Okay,
It could
okay. They
shut
say
it shut him
when
off
you click on
sometimes.
the mute button, there is this drop down menu. Check on the proper mic you use. Change to the different mic you're
Yes, to
using.
make sure it's selecting the right
Kindly
one.
select the right mic. Keep checking to be sure we can hear you. We cannot. We're still unable to hear you till now. We can't. We can't get any noise, anything from you. No feedback at all. No feedback at all.
It might need to log out and log in again,
Uh,
as in
So
go
you
out
know
and
what,
come
Mr.
back
Konko,
in
let me
if you
call you on WhatsApp. Let me call him on WhatsApp to respond to you because I know this response is important. Let me call him to respond to you very quickly so that we can, get his feedback on this conversation. All right, if that works. I'm trying to call you on WhatsApp, sir, but I can't reach you on WhatsApp. I can't reach you on WhatsApp. It's not connecting. Okay, it's ringing now. All right. All right. It's ringing now. So let's hope I am calling him on WhatsApp. I'm calling. Kindly pick, sir. Okay. Um. Okay. Hello, sir. Can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. I don't know what happened to your audio. We can hear you crystal
Yes,
clear.
I don't understand as well. I must thank the caller. I didn't quite get his name.
His name is the flagship.
Fantastic.
Hmm.
Flagship. Okay. Okay. Fantastic appraisal of the situation
Okay.
and with the experience of what he has seen in other times as well.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is this: we must all accept the fact that there is a bit of complicity here in what is happening. We started by saying that. So, be it the military, be it the politicians, somebody somewhere is benefiting from this chaos. But it's not from today. It's been like this for years, if I won't say decades. So one of the worst years in our terrorism story was 2014.
Hello. Okay. It's not okay. It's bad again.
So that's exceptional for a country like Nigeria. Since then, there's been a bit of improvement. but the complicity is still there, like you mentioned. There is obviously some people who are gaining from it, both in sales of arms, both in trafficking, in terms of the money, exchange of money, money laundering, because when these kidnappers eventually get paid ransoms, they have to transfer it to dollar if it's not already in dollar. And even when it's in dollar, to live in Niger Republic, dollar is not accepted. So they have to take it into the local CFA. So there's a lot of people involved making money from insecurity. Let me put it that way. We're making fortune from insecurity. Those are the same people that the good ones on the government side are fighting against. I'm trying to paint a picture here where there are good and bad people on both sides. You have people who are like ambushing the efforts, the little efforts. Let me put it that way to content everybody. The little efforts the government is doing, people are making them sabotaging them. While a lot of people are making fortunes from this thing, these illegal miners that we're talking about move around with hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is tempting to join them when you are a young boy living in Mata or Gozau in Borno State. It is tempting. $1,000 is like 100 million to that person. So there are easy targets to join them. You have politicians who are using it because if insecurity is working.
But you're not addressing based on the question he asked. He's saying that you acted like you exonerated both the government and the military from any blame, as it were. So he's saying that the bulk stops at the table of the president because that's what he promised to do, and that he's dropped the ball and he's not doing his job good enough. Now, how do you expect individuals who are not armed and are hungry to be able to do anything about insecurity when insecurity or security keeps stopping our budget year in, year out? And then these people are unable to do something about it. I mean, are unable to tackle the insecurity issue heads on. Yes, please.
I got that question. I got that point. Okay. But we already agreed that the ball stops at the president. When I use the anagram of a coach in the football team, we all agree with that. With this president, with the last president, and with the next one coming. Insecurity is their first objective as a government. So that's clear. I don't have no discussions on that. What we are saying is now, how do we go forward? Because I cannot come here and lament. It's not possible. I've been following security for over 15 years. So when you tell me that it lies at the president's table, we know. Okay. But the thing is, concretely, what do we do? I think that's what he wants to hear. He also wants to hear, what do we do? Because otherwise, next week we'll lament again, and it doesn't help any of us. I mean, it doesn't.
I know what we need to do. I know what we need to do.
So he was saying something. Flagship, what did you say? Let me quickly get his feedback. Flagship, what did you say?
He's saying that, and again, I thank him for agreeing to what I said. Now, the point, what we need to do is this. What do you call it? Capital punishment is a way out. First, it starts with accountability. Accountability in the sense that if I know that you are responsible for it, then the law should be meted on you or me or whoever it is at its highest level, regardless of the office that we bear. Capital punishment. Stop rehabilitating.
Let him respond to him.
And I want to know if he agrees with this. Precious. Sorry, no vex.
No vex.
I believe that rehabilitating these guys that we know are foreigners to our land, and they have come and maimed our people. When you catch them, don't rehabilitate them. Give to them what the law says, including death, if that's what the law says. And if the law does not have death in it, I think they need to go back, revise it, and include it there that if you are caught maiming, killing the Nigerian people, your punishment is capital death. If we do it and they see it, it will push them back. We are giving them an open invitation when we catch these guys, rehab them, give them money, and send them back into our communities. That's why they keep coming. That's why they keep doing what they are doing, because they know they will not be held accountable. Okay. So let's take them out, one at the other, and we'll fix this problem.
Let me explain that to him. So he said that one, we should ensure that we have an appropriate punishment that would serve as a deterrent so that others will not do the same thing again. And he says that punishment should be capital punishment. And then in the real sense, I want to add to that question, please. How many Boko Haram people, how many terrorists have we executed? Sorry, sorry. Let me boot you out here. Okay, all right. So, how many, terrorists have we actually executed since the inception of this war against terrorism? That's one question. Do you think that that's one of the reasons why it looks like, these people are not deterred? Because after all, they need to do them anything. Like his suggestion, he says capital punishment is one way out that will serve as a deterrent. And when we catch them, secondly, if we catch them, we should stop pardoning them. We should give them this punishment that is deserving of the crime that they committed. If you come to kill Nigerians and you're not a Nigerian, let's kill you back. Let's execute you. And he said, let us stop. Yes, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming, sir. Yes, 99.9%. And then secondly, that we should stop forgiving and granting them amnesty because it doesn't make sense. If they have killed, they should be killed. If they have been involved in killing, they should be killed. They should be properly executed and punished so that it serves as a serious deterrent against those who would want to go. Do you think if we've been doing this thing like he suggested, do you think that they will keep recruiting people?
Of course.
They will keep recruiting. And people will keep
Of course,
following
it's
them.
like saying that because the American army threw 500,000 tons of bombs on Iraq, there is no more ISIS. But we all know ISIS is still there.
But like the initial question I asked, as a security expert, how many people have we executed on terrorism so far?
I don't have those figures, but like I told you, anybody who has served in the front is very happy to kill the bandits, and that's what soldiers prefer. They don't hide it. Soldiers prefer to confront them. I'm talking of the soldiers on ground. They prefer to confront these bandits and kill them, not to take any prisoners and anything like that. So don't worry. The Nigerian army soldier who is in the forefront, an infantry officer or personnel, prefers to kill the bandits if they have that confrontation. The question is when you go into a zone like Bonu and you go into an IDP camp and you find out that there are quite a lot of people who have been kidnapped and others who have been, let me say, induced into becoming Boko Haram, young soldiers, young foot soldiers of the terrorism, this is 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds, do you kill them as well? That's the first question. So it's a little bit dicey because yes, we all prefer to kill them. Nobody here will tell you otherwise. But we have to be careful to do it properly and to do it and not become a barbaric nation while trying to solve barbarism. So it has not worked for the Americans. It has not worked for the Ethiopians. Ethiopians have been fighting for 40 years. The Somalians have been fighting for 40 years. They've killed every kind of person you can kill. And yet, they are in the 7th or 8th generation. We are in the 3rd or 4th generation of Boko Haram. I've said it here before. The first set of Boko Haram soldiers are all, foot soldiers, sorry. They are all dead or captured or killed or injured or whatever. But we have a 3rd generation that only likes money. So as long as people are paying, you will have recruits that will join them. They are not educated people. They don't have value for life. They promise them 3 bicycles and $1,000 for their family, not even for them, and they join. It's not about religion anymore. You don't hear anybody talking about Islam. Everybody's in it now for money. And that's why we have a bigger problem. Because people are now in it not for ideology, but for money. ISWAP is all over Sahel. Look, like 2 weeks ago, they killed almost 200 Burkina Faso soldiers. Ambushed. 200. I didn't say 10. 200. These guys are ready for any amount of money to come and do mayhem. And what they are getting in return is that people who want to grab land are also using them like mercenaries, if I may use that name. It's not a nice name to use, but they are acting like mercenaries. That's where they are getting cash from. If they don't kidnap, they do land grabbing for you. That is, a community will call them, or a set of scrupulous people will call them, and they will come and attack another community and drive those people away. They get money and they go back to their hideouts in Niger Republic, making the war, let's call it war, very asymmetric. So you see people come into Nigeria in groups of 5, dressed like typical Fulanis. You don't know that they're carrying guns, and by 2 o'clock in the morning, they gather together. They are now 40 because they entered in groups of 5. Initially, you didn't see them. And by the time it's 2 o'clock in the morning, they are now 40, and they go and ambush a military barracks. It makes it very difficult if we don't step up our game in terms of reconnaissance, in terms of infiltration, in terms of all these GPS and satellites. Those things we are not using very well. We are inadequate as we speak. So we are always a step behind. So very good, yes, kill all of them, but first you have to even identify them.
All right, thank you. The flagship, do you have further question?
You know, the thing I have to say is that we make excuses for these nuances that we have. Yeah, and we're quick to compare ourselves with other nations. While I agree that you need to juxtapose sometimes, but in Nigeria, as we speak, there has been no response. There has been no response from our government to this mayhem that's going on. And it doesn't seem like they are willing to make any response. General Sani Abacha said, if there is insurgency, if it starts in your land and it lasts more than 24 hours, your government is a part of it. It's been, what, almost 20 years now that this thing started. And we seem not to get a hold of it, but we budget so much for it every year and nothing ever comes out. They are now, even with the little funding that they have from wherever they get it, are getting equipment that beat our own. It's a joke when I hear you tell me that 5 people dressed like a certain tribe and come into Nigeria and at 2 a.m. get into the barrack and just take out soldiers. It sounds like a big joke.
All right.
You know, you hear, and Precious, lastly, again, I still maintain and I stand on it. The command has not been given to our men and women in uniform to take out these guys. They are being restrained, and they are being restrained. If they give them the command, even with the limited equipment that they have, I believe strongly that we can push this thing back 70, if not 80%, because it doesn't take rocket science to do it. We know the cause of the problem. And when you know the cause of your problem, 50% of it is solved already. The remaining is for you to take action. And whatever action you want to take, you can push it back to a great extent. If they can do to Okwama what they did, I don't see why they can't do it in the north and in our borders. I'm not saying kill Nigerians. I'm talking about securing the borders. Nigerian army has bases in almost all 36 states, if not all 36 states. There is a reason for that. So let's get the man in charge and hold him responsible to give the right command through his military chiefs to our men and women who are waiting for that order to say, go and take them out. And I bet you this will be behind us. The little ones and the little foxes that will still remain will be easy to smoke out by those in the community. Let us stop protecting them. Let's give them the right command, and we will take care of this problem.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, the flagship. So, our bottom line, he's on the same page with you, Mr. Alex, is saying that what we need to do is that knowing at least knowing your problem solves 50% of the problem. So, since we already know what the problem is and we've known the cause of this problem, it helps us solve half of the problem. And then the next thing is the will. More like I have to add the political will to what the flagship said. The political will for our leaders or those in charge to do what is right by sweeping these people off. Because if you already know half of the problem, what is stopping you from doing the right thing and taking them off your terrain? So that's basically what he said. Yes, all. I know you've always mentioned.
National Assembly, including the local
I agree
government
with
chairman,
you.
and so on and so forth.
Yes, I
they are
agree.
all our leaders.
Yes, I agree. All right. The flagship that suffices, right?
Thank you. Yeah, that's it for me
Thank you.
today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Precious.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Alex, I'd like to say a big thank you to you. Sincere apologies that the network had to do you a bit of dirty today. I appreciate your time. You spent over almost 3 hours with me. That is so much. I appreciate it.
Is always with you now, Precious.
So
and we even have that somebody is a crush to you there. Somebody came and he was actually saying things like he's your crush, I mean you are his crush. I don't know how to say
where? When did he say that?
The guy that said that he's from Benue or something like that.
I didn't hear that too. I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear that part. No, and now your ear. Now that earpiece says you hear from me. No hear and west. I don't worry yourself. You know talk crush. I know hear crush. Oh. I know hear that side. I know hear that side.
No, but to be
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Insecurity is a big problem in Nigeria. It's going to destroy everything.
It is scary. You know why it is scary? You don't even know who is next. You don't even know who is next.
Exactly.
You can't even guarantee you're going out and coming back. That's a problem.
The only thing I pray is that we should give ourselves the means to be a step ahead of them. I just explained how some of them come into Nigeria. They come in groups of 3 or 4 or 5 people. They are dressed normally, like the typical Fulani with all their bundle and everything. You don't know at that point that they are terrorists. It is when they regroup in 2 o'clock in the morning, when you and I are fast asleep, that they will do. What happened, the attack that happened in the barracks, was obviously somebody gave them information about how many soldiers.
Naturally.
It happened.
But you know that they cannot attack the soldiers without inside information. It's impossible. There is a sabotage inside. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Remember we started this program by saying it's a collective thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. Somebody got paid to give that information, and maybe during the week he supplies yam to the barracks or he supplies water or whatever, but he gave that information. So you cannot isolate the insecurity problem in Nigeria. Everybody has to be involved at different levels, of course. Of course, it boils down to the leadership, but everybody has to be involved, both at the local level. There is somebody planting yam, supplying yam to that barracks, and giving information. How is that person also complaining that people have died in his locality? That's what I'm trying to say. So it has to be holistic. We have to all collaborate on this thing, and it doesn't have to be political party. It doesn't have to be about tribe. It doesn't have to be about race or whatever, or employment or whatever. It has to be about insecurity. And it's a big business for the government, just as equal as education, health, and whatever. Insecurity has to be a big business for the government. If we tackle that, if we can tackle that and reduce it, we can even create an employment and increase the economic well-being of Nigerians. It is all encompassing. You cannot isolate one and take the other.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your input.
Have a lovely evening.
Thank you for obliging me, and thank you for enduring my prolonged talk time. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. To enjoy the rest of your evening, sir. Thank you very much. Good night, Spicer. All right. What did you say here? Who then now? Precious, invite our guest back. He is very knowledgeable, even with my few disagreements with him. He would come back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, guys, that's it for today for me. You guys have roasted me today, eh? Okay, you keep me talking for about 3 hours, and the other time I talked alone to for how many hours? I appreciate you guys. I love you. I'll see you again tomorrow, God willing, afternoon and evening again. To enjoy the rest of your evening.